I was talking that whole time and didn't know that the mic was muted. Yeah, yeah. So, I want to get everybody's predictions for the fight for the Joe Smith Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev fight because I know that there are at least a few people that are going with the upset because we all know that Joe Smith Jr. is good for an upset. He's beat the odds 4 times, which is 4 more times than some boxers can say they've ever beat the odds and went against the grain. So I want to get right into that. And y'all know the rules of engagement. I do not need 10 people talking at the same time or trying to say something. So if you hear somebody go before you, let them talk. All right? Because we ain't got that much longer before the main event starts. I think it's only like 3 fights. And I think the Bruce Carrington fight, he might end up knocking the dude out. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to post the link right here and we're going to get it popping. We're going to get right down to business. Right now, we got Diaz versus Platovsky, Plutonic relationshipovic. And yeah, yo, it's a lot of news, man. It's a lot of news. Edgar Berlanga was fined $10,000 for biting this dude on the neck, trying to turn him into a Puerto Rican. He bit him on the neck. He's trying to turn Angulo into a Boricua. Apparently,
Jules, Berlanga was doing what you was doing about 20 minutes, except you was biting nalgas.
But nalgas, no. I mean, like, bro, that dude that's just some weird shit to do in the middle of a fight. To be completely honest.
What's up, fellas?
I was goody country. So I want to start at the top. I'm gonna start with Virtuoso. If you got mic problems, fix your mic problems, man. We don't want to hear the crackling and the crunching. Virtuoso, who you got winning the fight? Who mic is that?
Not mine.
Turn that volume down.
I was muted.
I Virtuoso.
Yeah, I got Artur Beterbiev.
All right. Late stoppage. All right, so we got one for Beterbiev. Drew, who you got winning the fight?
I got the working man, the construction man, Joe Smith Jr. is going to
blitz him. You got Joe for the upset, for real?
Joe's going to blitz him, and he's going to get Artur out of there in round 6.
I dig it. Hey, if that's – because the thing is, look, fighting backwards ain't the way to go. We saw that with Vosdick. We saw that with Vosdick. We saw that with Brown. And you can't box him. If you got power, you got to use it. So Jules, I understand.
Jules, who's ever blitzed Beterbiev and pressed forward?
Nobody. Most people can't, and most people don't want to. So I see your point. Like, I do see your point that Joe is probably going to come at it in a different way than anybody that we've seen fight him so far. So look, if you going with Joe, I understand it. Let me go.
One more thing, real quick, Jules. Has Artur fought anybody with this pop in terms of power?
I can't say that. Like, you could argue Callum Johnson, but even Callum, I don't think Callum is as big a puncher as Joe, and I don't think he's as durable as Joe either. To be honest with you, because Joe fought with a broken jaw for a couple of rounds. It's not a lot of guys that'll do that. Let me go to Country. Country, who you got winning the fight? When, where, and how?
I'm going against the grain, and I'm going with Joe Smith Jr.
Okay, we got Joe Smith Jr. That's two Joe Smith Jr.'s and one better with Virtuoso.
I'm going to go early if he's going to stop him, it's going to go early to mid-round stoppage.
Okay. So 2 for Joe, 1 for Beterbiev, 2 if I include myself, because I do have Beterbiev winning. Chris, who's winning the fight?
Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev is the more skillful fighter. And God, remember, Jeff Page and Callum Johnson put him on his ass, but they couldn't keep him on his ass. So at the end of the day, you can try to box him. You're just going to look like Marcus Brown and the people who try to box him. Oh, you want to come and bring that smoke? All right, cool. I got something for that ass. I got a good hard one too, and I'm very durable, and my defense is underrated, and I got speed. One thing about Joe, if Joe were to keep it long, I would give him more of a chance because he has the dimensions to make it a very tough and awkward fight for Artur. But mind you, this is a guy that fought Alexander Usyk and gave him all hell he could possibly can.
I
I
think he
understand this
dropped him
20.
with a body shot in the amateurs.
I,
He dropped him with a
I,
body shot.
I understand it's been 10 years since that fight happened, but that's still pedigree that Joe Smith has never really dealt with. And also, did you see the weigh-in? Artur looks like a
Boy,
whole
he looks
bigger than him.
swole, fam. He looked like a whole cruiserweight out here.
Yeah, bro, but I don't know how he makes that weight. But if he does lose, I can agree with Drew in country. Early to mid rounds, but I think Artur is going to be very circumspect. I think he's going to break him down and probably round 9 to round 11 stoppage for Artur Beterbiev.
All right, so that's 3 for Beterbiev, 2 for Smith. Leo, who you got winning the fight?
You go to me. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Nah, Leo. It's Leo. I'm coming to you. It's still it's 3 people ahead of you. Leo, who you have winning the fight?
Artur Beterbiev by stoppage. I think the corner is gonna throw the towel. Joe Smith is not gonna quit, but the punishment is gonna be too severe to ignore, and Artur is gonna hurt him to the body, and as well as on top, and they're gonna throw the towel.
I could see that too.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be dramatic. I have saw some of the Joe Smith fights. People talk about his right hand, but Joe Smith has a sneaky left hook in short.
He does.
He throws it and hurts people with it. And I can see a scenario Beterbiev pushing him, applying pressure, and Smith snaps that left hook and hurt Beterbiev. I think it's gonna be drama, but Artur Beterbiev is gonna win.
So let me do a head count real quick before we move forward. That I got Beterbiev, Virtuoso got Beterbiev, Drew got Joe, Country got Joe, Chris got Beterbiev, Leo got Beterbiev. That's 4-2 in favor of Beterbiev. Let's go to a new panelist. Yo, it's me. I don't know who that is.
Yo,
It's him.
Who is that?
hello.
Who this?
I'm in your comment section. I'm named Jack.
Jack. Jack, who you got winning the fight?
So I think we can all agree this fight won't go on the scorecards. I think someone's gonna get dropped, and I think it's Beterbiev because I think Joe Smith is. No, I think Beterbiev's gonna get dropped. But I think Beterbiev will come back and beat Joe Smith. I think late TKO. But I do want Joe Smith to win because I am from New York, so I think I got. Yeah, I got Beterbiev.
I'm from Long Island, but I gotta keep it a buck, bro. Like I seen Joe Smith, I seen him personally, and it's been a while since I watched him, in the ring, personally. But he's too limited for me. And if
it's not the limit. The main thing for me that makes it hard for me to pick Joe is that when he guard up, well, one, he uses a shell guard, which I fucking hate. I don't know why he does that shit, but he uses a shell guard sometimes. And even when he put the earmuffs on, it's too much space right here for a hook to get in there. It's too much space. Like, you can see that Artur punches is short. All you got to do is come around the guard and the hook going to get in. And Artur, uppercut specialist. He'll split the guard with an uppercut. So it's those things really that I'm like, look, even if you try to defend against the shots, he going to get him in there. And the best thing you can do with Artur, forget gloving up, punch with him. That's the best thing you could do. Like Leo said, he does have a good, decent left hook. It's not that short. It's actually kind of wide. But yeah, use that hook, bro, in the pocket. I'm gonna go to Villain. Willie Lynch. I'm gonna go to Willie. Willie, who do you have winning the fight?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So, did you catch the Isley fight, by the way?
Oh, good fight. Good knockout.
Okay, so this is what I think, because I made the mistake of thinking that Isley gassed out. They were saying that he needs to, that his corner was trying to nurture his killer instinct. And I'm a firm believer that killer instinct is only something that you're born with. You have that mean streak in you. And I think that's what's going to be the deciding factor tonight, because you got two come forward pressure fighters who are not going to stop. The only thing that's going to stop them is that bell. And if you think that Joe has the better chance in spurts, you can go with him. I'm going with Joe because I keep saying, it's the year of the underdogs. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. I mean, look, the other thing is, to the point that Drew made, which is a very valid point. How many guys actually tried to come forward and take it to Artur? Like, nah, I'm not going to box you. That shit ain't going to work. You got to punch.
Callum Johnson.
Well,
Man, Callum, not you confuse it. Like he brawled him, right? I dig that, right? But I don't think Callum is as durable as Joe. That's one. And I really don't think he hit as hard as Joe. When I think of I
think if Callum Johnson do touch Joe, I think he can hurt Joe. Hey, bro, sometimes you don't have to. Yeah, I know. Like, think about it like this. Yo, you may have power and some guy may have more power than you. But if you land on that dude and he hurt him, you don't need to have the same power that dude has. All you need to do is have the power in your fist.
It's not the pissing contest. It's more like Joe is a dude, which I think speaks volumes. He fought for like 5 rounds with a broken jaw, my guy, and didn't stop fighting. It wasn't even just like he was surviving. He was really fighting in that shit or trying to fight with a fucking broken jaw. So let me read this super chat.
That's called heart, bro. That's called heart. That is true, though.
Let me read the super chat. Amok, Beterbiev, and Floyd Diaz are winning tonight. Bang. And then we got Randy Arias who says, off topics, I went to Norman Thomas High School on the east side of Manhattan. Most students from LES. I'm from Washington Heights. BX is different. Just as crazy as they say they are. Back to the show. Yeah, to the last live that we did where I was talking about that it's not that LES is not a hood. It's more like it's not the fucking Bronx, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's not the Bronx. That's all I'm saying. The Bronx is a different beast. Like Artur is a different beast. The Bronx is a different beast. I'm gonna go to Chris Otto. Chris Otto, who's winning tonight?
Hey, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with Joe Smith. Ends it in the 7th. However, that's not to slight Artur because he's older, and I think he might have the urge to get out of there a little bit quickly, and he could put him to bed with one punch. So don't sleep on that either.
I mean, look, it's a pickup. Look, even though the bookies don't have it that way, there's a reason to look at it as a pick'em fight because it's not like Joe's never been knocked down before. He has. It's not like he's never been hurt before. He has. And he is 37 years old. You know, he is. He's up there in age. So if you picking Joe, you ain't got to sell it to me. I'm going with Artur, though. I'm going to make that clear. I am going with Artur, and it's the little things for me. That Joe's jab is not stiff and tense like Joe's jab. Joe kind of push with his jab, whereas Artur's
jab is pow.
He just short. It's a short jab. It just pop, 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 pop. It's short. It don't be out there long enough for you to come around with no shit. It's little things like that make me pick Artur.
The big question is this, though: how well can Joe Smith Jr. avoid Artur's power?
Well, I don't think he's going to try to avoid it. I think he's going to try to grab the bull by the horns and just go for the guts.
And that's going to be his detriment.
He not like the last thing I think anybody is expecting is for Joe to get out there and try to box this guy. Vosdick tried that. Marcus Brown tried that. That shit not going to work. Now let me go to Villain. Villain, who's winning this fight?
Well, my heart says I want Joe Smith to win, but my brain tells me that Beterbiev is going to win. I think the thing is his lackluster showing against Maxime Villasov. Vatsov. That fight was concerning to me because I see there's too much weakness in his defense, and unfortunately, somebody like Beterbiev, who is such a hard hitter, I cannot see how Joe Smith lasts any longer than 8 or 9 rounds. But let's say,
now hold on. Did everybody see the chocolate ass walking across the ring? Look at that chocolate ass. Chocolate ass.
The chocolate ass even knows that Beterbiev's going to win the fight.
The chocolate ass knows. Like, if you need answers, talk to the chocolate ass, B. Drew says, Jules, I know you're going for Mother Russia, but what do you tell Joe if you're in his corner, and what's the game plan? Double up on the jab so that you keep his guard up, and then instead of hitting him up top with the right, hit him to the body. You know, hook off the jab or hook downstairs. That's your best bet. Other than that, take it to him. Don't get me wrong, because I don't think that it favors Joe to try to box. Stay in character and take it to him. But it's what punches you throw. It's what punches. He's expecting you to try for the right. He's not expecting a left hook to the body. He's not expecting an uppercut. So it's what you throw. If I'm in his corner, that's what I tell him. Double up on the jab to keep his guns holstered and hook off the jab once you're within range. Hit him to the body. He's not used to being hit there. He's 37 years old. Those are 37-year-old legs. Take those motherfuckers away. Sawab is in the building.
Jules, can I add on to what you said?
You go to Sawab. Sawab,
wait, bro, wait for your flipping turn, bro. You cuck. No, I'm only playing.
Fuck you. Watch your mouth.
Watch
your mouth, nigga.
You know I got love for you, bro. Anyways, how you guys doing? Jules,
who's winning this fight, bro?
You know who's winning? The fans are, bro. The fans are winning.
Don't give me that
today.
Generic bullshit.
The fans are winning, bro.
Decision. You gotta make a decision, bro. No generic bullshit.
You know what? It's a good 50-50 fight. I'm just going to say whoever lands first, but most likely it's going to be Beterbiev. I got my Muslim brother. Come on, my brother.
Salaikum salam. All right.
Alaikum assalam.
All right. Fucking shit. Now let's go back to Chris. Chris, you're in Joe's corner. You know that the odds are stacked against him. You know that he's facing a fighter that has a 100% finish rate. What do you tell this guy to do?
Keep the jab out on him. Make sure every time you throw a combination, bring your hands back to your face, touch to the body, and move your head. At the end of the day, if you see straight punches coming at you, move. Don't fall for the feints. If he tries to feint you, and if he's in a position where he's not getting back in time, capitalize on that. Use your jab. Use your reach. Make sure
that he has that. He has a lot of reach.
Yeah, Smith Jr.'s definitely got reach.
He got fucking long arms, Smith. Like he has long arms. Like if he jabs his way in, you keep Artur's guns holstered, or maybe you force him back. Just keep jabbing at him, but don't overcommit to the punches, because you know what happens if you do that. You get fucking countered. And Joe Smith Jr. cannot afford to get hit with a punch he don't see by Artur. That'll put him out.
But like you remember how Tommy Hearns applied his pressure? He applied his pressure behind his reach and his jab. If like you remember how he fought Jose Cuevas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, if he could do that, he'll have a better chance of winning. Because if he overcommit, like you said, this is something I agree with you. He'll get put to sleep.
He get put out. And that's why, like, I understand where the people that are picking Joe are coming from. That look, it's not like Joe pillow fisted. If it's a situation where it's one of them fights where it's whoever land first. But my thing is, even Joe's offense, which is what he's good at, he's an offensive fighter, and that girl got a fat old ass, I could tell. And she do it. Bro, I just fucking know these things. Like when it's a big ass in the room, I could feel it. And like Highlander, you seen Highlander? That they know that it's another Highlander. If it's a fat old ass around, I get that like a spider sense. And
it's a Capricornian sense.
It is. The universe tells me like, yo, it's an ass in there. And the main thing with Joe is even what you're good at, it is flawed. Your offense is limited. You don't really have a tight uppercut. You got a decent left hook, a world-class right hand. Shit jab, though. Shit jab. And the other thing is he don't move his head. If you watch the Gaffard fight, the first couple of rounds, Joe was getting jabbed through the guard. That he had his guard up, and he's still getting hit with jabs right to the fucking face. So it's clear cut for me, but it is boxing, and anything can happen.
Well, does anyone actually compare Hearns to Beterbiev? Because the thing of it is that if Joe Smith's mission is to bully the bully, it's going to be the question of the night is going to be without a doubt, can Joe Smith take what Beterbiev has? And no man has actually proven that they can up until this point. So that's going to be, I think, the biggest test of the night also. I mean,
can Joe Smith
add to that as well? 1 second. To add to that as well, I don't think Joe Smith would. I don't know if he has faced adversity, but the way Beterbiev moves in non-stop, like the pressure is on all night.
Well, one
He's
thing,
not
look,
letting go until he doesn't.
one thing we could say is that Joe Smith has. I'll go as far as saying that Joe has had to deal with more adversity in the ring than Artur. The most adversity I've seen Artur really had to deal with is, okay, you got dropped by Jeff Page, but you got right up. You got dropped by Callum Johnson. I believe that was towards the end of the round. The most adversity that he really had to deal with was in the Brown fight, because you was in danger of losing that fight because of the cut. But Joe had to fight with a broken jaw, my God. That's horrible, fam. Like, imagine fighting with a broken jaw, fam. In rounds, 3 minute, nah, B. That's insane.
One thing for sure, his jaw is going to be broken again, but is he going to be able to take Beterbiev keep coming to him every 2 seconds?
Are you watching this guy on the ropes getting stowed on?
Now, right now I'm smoking. I was going to ask y'all about the fight that we've all been waiting for. It's arriving in September. Initially, they said August, but now it's September. Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz, the pay-per-view, the showdown, the all for it all.
Greatest fight of a lifetime.
Julius, go to your room.
Yeah, listen. I just want to say that fight is a testament to how the PBC ruined careers, because for y'all doing that fight in September, y'all could have let him fight Tyrone Spong, get that activity, get that knockout or whatever, and then you put him in an Ortiz fight. What y'all did, y'all keeping this man out the ring for 9 months because y'all literally stopped that fight from happening. Y'all ain't get him no tune-up fight. He ain't fought at all this year, and he not going to fight till 9 months into the year. Probably only.
And you're surprised. And you're surprised about the PBC. They don't give a fuck about their fighters. They care about themselves.
I'm not surprised.
That's the PBC.
I'm saying that's the proof.
Since when did they give a fuck about their fighters? They care about themselves and their pocket. That's all.
Julius, are you talking about Andy Ruiz?
Mm-hmm.
I have the feeling about the Tyrone Spong that Andy Ruiz didn't want that fight because the money.
It's not. This is the story. This is the official story. He was going to go through with that fight, and it was the PBC that pulled him back in, saying that he already signed a contract to fight motherfucking Luis Ortiz. That's what they said, that he already signed a contract. So to me, it looked more like he didn't want to fight Luis. It looked like you didn't want to fight Luis, so you tried to fight somebody else. And bear in mind, Tyrone Spong ain't fought in a minute. So it's like, yeah, he ain't fought no world-class people yet. I'd rather fight him than Ortiz.
And he's a K1 guy. He's an elite level K1 guy. He ain't no boxer. I watched that dude body bag dudes in K1. But
yeah, he used to beat the shit out of guys. He did.
I don't think he cares.
But let's look at it like this. If you weren't going to fight Ortiz at that point, that's on you. That's not on the PBC. You made yourself inactive. Like, let's keep it a.
Yeah, but they gotta but you know how it works, bro. They gotta have dates. They gotta have dates, and they gotta supply you with something. In other words, everything really goes through the network. If the network has a date for you that they've set aside, yada yada yada. We all know that. And for some reason, he fighting exclusively on Fox. I don't even understand that shit. Like, why is he fighting exclusively on Fox? Couldn't y'all get him a date on Showtime? You know what I mean? Y'all keeping that man out the ring for 9 months. That's what I see. Because he wanted to come back sooner, and y'all forced him to come back later.
But look at it like this.
Jules, but you know who's going to be on that goddamn undercard too? Your favorite heavyweight.
Frankie Sanchez? Oh, God. Yeah, but you know what? Another thing I wanted to talk about. Frankie Sanchez left Eddie Reynoso. Andy Ruiz left Eddie Reynoso. Yeah, they left him, bro, both of them. So that's 3 guys that left Eddie Reynoso. Is it a bad look? I'm gonna start at the top. I'm gonna start with Drew. Drew, is it a bad look?
I think it's a bad look on the fighters, not Eddie, because I don't think any of those guys you mentioned, Jules, they don't have the work ethic of Canelo.
But can we say, look, we could say that about Andy, but can we say that about Frankie? Can we say that about him?
I could say that about Ryan. I could say that about Andy.
That's true.
The verdict's still out on Frankie, but I don't see Frankie dying to want to fight 3-4 times a year.
That's true.
Shit. So Well, it'll all to be determined on what they look like in their next fight, Jules. Then we can
Okay.
really say a definitive answer.
All right, let me go to Country. Country, so far, 3 fighters have left the Reynoso gym. Is that an indictment on him?
It's not a great look, but it's not 100% indictment on him, given the fact that, you know, the behavior of Andy and Ryan is pretty self-explanatory as to why they're destructing. Frankie Sanchez, like he was saying, as Drew was saying, it's altogether a different story. That's a wait and see. But those other two, man, they've shown nothing but a lack of discipline and activity. So I can't blame Reynoso for that. And that to me, that doesn't make him look bad for those two.
Chris, is it a bad look for Eddie or is it a bad look for them?
It's a kind of a bad look for the fighters, and kind of it's bad optics for Eddie because Canelo lost and everything. But it's just bad optics. Yeah, it's just bad optics, but it's not bad on Reynoso's part because Reynoso does his job. Reynoso makes sure his fighters are as adequately prepared physically, mentally, and tactically.
But let me add this for you, Chris. Frankie said, and bear in mind, Frankie didn't badmouth Eddie the way that Ryan did, but he kind of said the same thing. He said that, well, you know, he just had a long camp with Canelo, and right now he's on holiday. I got a fight coming up, so I need somebody right now. Does that give you the impression that maybe Ryan was right when he said, look, Eddie don't be there for cats. He there for Canelo. Does it kind of look that way when you hear that? Because Frankie said that. I did a fucking video on it. Frankie said, I got a fight coming up. Eddie's on holiday with Canelo. They just had a long camp. And I don't got nothing against Eddie, but I need somebody right now.
Okay, think about it like this, though.
Go ahead, Chris.
Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead, Chris.
If Frankie just needs somebody right now, hey, Frankie might come back. Because think about it. What did we say? Long camp. Mind you, this guy's with who used to be pound for pound #1 guy who has a long, demanding schedule and is the breadwinner of that gym. You do not come before the breadwinner at all, and people have to understand that. That's why when you are a prospect, you gotta pick a trainer that's for your style, and also a trainer that is free. A lot of people have to understand that, because let's look at it. Ryan had other trainers prior to Eddie Reynoso, and he wasn't training as hard either. There was fights. There was fights on. You remember the Facebook Live card? And Ryan looked bad. Eddie Reynoso wasn't training him. So I don't take anything Ryan has to say seriously, because I don't think he's a man of integrity, and I think he a bitch. Real talk.
Let me ask you this, Jules.
Yeah, but if I tell you, but see, this is the other thing. If I'm telling you that Frankie left, fuck Ryan, right? Fuck him, because
that might just be a one-off, though.
Do you go to Joe Goosen for a one-off?
If Frankie's going to Joe Goosen for a one-off?
He's with Joe Goosen now.
All right, man, that's kind of weird, because think about it like that. Now that changes the whole dynamic.
That's Ryan what I'm tell you.
Ryan went there. Ryan and Frankie went there. So is Frankie lazy? Because you got to remember, it's always been a curse of the Cubans. Once they leave Cuba, it's only a special few of fighters that stick to that Cuban school shit.
Look, can I say
look at Alejandro Solis, bro. Solis was a beast, bro. He was a beast.
I never bought into that. Like I just never bought into for a long time.
I can't say that because Cuba produced the fighters.
Amateurs.
Joel Casamayor was a champion.
Bro, you had to
professional.
Go back to Joel Casamayor. That's you telling me.
Guillermo Regendale, Arislandi Lara. Recently, let's not play that, bro.
I'm gonna put it to you another way, right? Because I'm
David Morrell Jr.
I'm sick of the bullshit. I have seen more Eastern European champions in the last 10 years than Cuban.
Bro, but that doesn't mean that they whack fighters. I gotta stop that.
All I'm saying is I never bought into this shit. Oh, the Cuban school is so good. It's great. It's great for the amateurs, not the pros.
Now let me say this out here, Jules. Is this a version of Eddie Roach 2.0 where dudes would leave Eddie for Eddie because, dude, Pacquiao and Cotto getting the fucking lion's share of the attention with Freddie. All you other motherfuckers that ain't got no money, that don't draw shit, you got to fall in line. You got to get the attention.
Yeah, but
of
is
your
it
trainer.
bad on them, Drew? Is that bad on him that he feel that, look, I'm not getting the attention that I need for my career, so I'm going to get up out of here like I don't got – because Frankie didn't do it how Ryan did it. Frankie was like, look, the door is open. My door is open for Eddie, but, you know, I'm here with Joe Goosen right now. He didn't say he didn't say no bitch shit or no bad shit, but he's literally saying, though, the same thing that Ryan said in the sense that I'm not getting the attention that I need. Now, Ryan was a little bitch about it, and motherfuckers just don't like Ryan being real. But he did say some of the same things that Ryan said.
But my retort to that, Jules, you've been in the gym. What the fuck do you really – you don't need Eddie to tell you to jump rope, to fucking hit the bag, to do the basic – you need Eddie for fucking game planning and fucking strategy. To actually do your boxing work to get in shape, you don't need fucking Eddie.
That's true. That is true. That is true. That, like, you don't need Eddie to tell you to hit the heavy bag.
Ryan's a bitch. Ryan's a bitch.
I attribute it to this, Jules. It's like when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors and now he left and the Warriors won again. Like, we're gonna see what Ryan and all these dudes do after they leave. If they're gonna be world champions.
He got a live one in front of him, right? And if you get beat by Javier Fortuna or whatever,
oh, Fortuna slump him bad. I hope he's.
I don't know. I'm not saying this and that. I'm just saying if that's going to look bad on you. You can't put it on Eddie. You can't put it on Eddie. You having it your way. You wanted personal. You wanted a personal touch, right? Because it's more personal with Joe. You got that. If you can't make it happen with Eddie and you can't make it happen with Joe, it's because you can't make it happen. Pretty much, it's you.
Hey, Julius,
let's look at it.
Yo, Smith, man.
Hey, Julius, let me answer your question for you. So, I don't want to get overly, expressive. I know this is a PG show, but let me just say this.
This ain't a PG show.
Well, I could take it there if I wanted to, but
it's a family show.
It's a family
rated triple X.
Yes.
Triple
According
X.
to who?
Like Seventh Heaven, bro. Seventh Heaven.
Nah, bro. Stop it, bro. Come on, God damn.
No, it's like Family Ties. Sha-na-na-na.
Wow, yo, you took it back, bro. Family Ties, bro.
We old, Jules. We old.
Michael J. Fox, bro.
I remember that.
We
yeah.
old, Jules.
Whoa, bro.
Sha-na-na-na.
Last shirt. But go ahead.
Let me just say this. It's the boxer's job to fight. You can't make a trainer fight for you. You have someone there who's there pretty much like what he just said. He's there to give you strategy. He's there to show you technique. And if you're telling me that Frankie Sanchez is going to Joe Guzman, I'd wager that he's going there to learn more off of Guzman because Guzman also worked with Michael Nunn. And Nunn was.
Let me add to your point, bro. When he said he's going to Joe Goosen, which is why I know that this is not a temporary situation. It doesn't sound like a one-off. What Frankie said is Joe is teaching me to be more offensive and to do more work on the inside. That's what he said. Now, does that sound to you like a temporary situation?
No,
not at all.
That tells me that, look, whatever's whatever, and he may not have been getting the attention, the level of attention that he wants, that he doesn't want to just hit the heavy bag or hit the double end bag or skip rope. He wants certain attention that he is not getting. So I'm going to ask you, do you feel that it's bad optics for Eddie or it's bad optics for the fighters?
With that being said, I would have to say that's bad optics for Eddie. But if it's bad optics for Eddie, it can't be that bad because at the end of the day, let's look at it like this. He's a guy that a charge from 15 till let's how old is Canelo now? Like 32, 33?
31, 32 around there.
31, 32, and he's only had 2 losses and one draw, like a couple draws. And this guy's been winning titles from 154, 160, 168, and 175. Hey, bro, I've earned my vacation. I'm sorry that you guys came in
Yeah, but
during a time.
you looking at it. In other words, you looking at it just from the lens that you got to fall in line. If you the fighter, right? If I'm the fighter, yo, on some real shit, I really don't give a shit about Canelo, my guy. You either
It's
going
about me. I feel you. If I'm a fighter, I feel where you coming from. I echo the same sentiments as you. But this is you as a fighter have to understand. Hey, I'm now coming into the professional ranks, and I see these big name trainers are inundated with big name talent. And if I want to be a big name, I may have to go to a trainer that not everybody knows. Let's look at it. For example, English Bowie Fisher trained Bernard Hopkins before Nazim Richardson, and he got him to the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Right? No one knows who English Fisher is in this era. If it wasn't for Andre Ward, how many people would have known Virgil Hunter? Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. How many people know Barry Robinson? How many people know Andrew Council? Those are all good trainers.
But now what you saying back to me is, in other words, what you saying back to me is, okay, he did make the right decision. Frankie did. Like, I can't speak for Ryan because Ryan is a bitch.
He's a bitch.
Yeah, so I can't argue that. They're like, look, bro, you said you walked in the gym and busted out crying. Can
you say the hey Rye again? Can you do that just for me, please? Hey Rye, you want to hug Rye?
No,
please do it for me, please. Come on, Jules.
I can't do it on command because I forgot how I got into the character to do it.
Nah, I gave you the framework. Hey Rye, you want me to hold your hand, Rye?
I'm trying to remember. Let me come back to that. The point that I'm making is, I can't really make excuses for Ryan. And Andy's reputation actually precedes his relationship with Eddie.
He had Manny Robles. Manny Robles is a damn good trainer.
That's what I was going to say.
My coach, Joseph Higgins, he said, yo, I used to go to, the Nationals with Patrick Day all the time and say, yo, I used to see Manny Robles used to be the head trainer for the Western region of the United States. So he used to train those fighters good. It was Andy. And I'm happy Andy won those titles and everything with under Manny Robles. And I'm also happy to see Andy, in his state of decline, because at the end of the day, you don't do the stuff that you do. Like, for example, what Deontay Wilder did to Mark Breland, you don't do that. And you see now he's spiritually emasculated, like you brought out in the relay, right? Mm-hmm. So when you do stuff of that corny ilk, it's going to come back to you, irrespective of what anybody says.
Let me say this. One, I got two super chats. Let me read this one. As unlikely as I think that Beterbiev will lose, Joe Smith Jr. versus Dimitri Bivol 2 will be Rocky 3 and 4 in real life. We'll see about that hot shit.
Thank you.
Eddie concentrates on other fighters the way he does Canelo. I don't. Which is why I'm asking the question that if I gotta ask myself, right? Do I believe that Eddie gives the same time and attention to all the fighters? Absolutely not. So if that's how I feel, that he don't give them all that because, well, you ain't all bringing me the money that you like, fuck the money. He been with Canelo for a very long time, so it's the relationship. And
he's been with Canelo since he was a child, bro.
You got to look at it from this standpoint. The point being is that everybody knows it's the Canelo show. A lot of the reasons they're even going to be trained by Eddie is because of Canelo. But ultimately, Eddie knows that the cash cow, his cash cow, quote unquote, is going to be Canelo. So he's going to give all the attention to him. And quite frankly, I can't blame him. I wouldn't even want to go to
bro,
Eddie.
if that's the situation, this is what I'm asking you. If that's the situation, is it wrong for the other fighter that's not Canelo to leave?
No, absolutely not.
It's
Why
not
would
wrong.
you even go? It's exactly what they should do.
No, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. It's Ryan's mind. Ryan thinks he deserves as much time and attention as Canelo when he ain't done jack.
Country, he's a bitch. Of course he needs that attention.
You gotta remember, Ryan tries to justify what Canelo's done with Instagram followers.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. He's looking from a social media cloud. Guess what? Canelo don't give a fuck about no social media cloud whatsoever. And nobody usually does. We're talking about what happens in the ring. The thing is, Ryan is not bringing the clout, the actual true clout or money that Canelo is. So of course, the person who's bringing the money for Eddie is going to be Canelo. He's going to ride or die with Canelo. Period.
He's been rocking with him since he was 15. Willie, come on, bro.
He's going to keep rocking with him.
According to Ryan, he's already a legend in his own mind. You know, so.
Well, I read 6'5".
I just want to shout out Shushu's kit. He got the New York Knicks kit. I could tell. He got the colors. He looking like baby Patrick Ewing out here with the New York Knicks kit. That shit look fresh to death, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll wear that shit to the pool, bro.
Well, if you're rocking that, you're bound to lose because that's how they perpetually do.
Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. You ain't got to do that.
We just got to live in reality, my friend.
Now, come on, you ain't got to be like that. Short left hook on the inside. Come on, man.
I know you like reality, so we're gonna live there.
All right. Ryan ain't shit. The Knicks suck, and so do the Jets and the Mets.
Okay.
They suck.
Warriors don't.
Hey,
the Warriors don't suck, but the Warriors ain't from fucking New York, right? So why are we bringing them up?
Because they won the championship.
About the
Leo, I want to ask you: bad optics for Eddie or bad optics for the fighters?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. In a way, I see Eddie Reynoso in the same way I see Bomac.
Okay.
You got yourself a generational talent. You can see it clear as day that this guy has it. For me, those kind of trainers is a different breed than a guy like Nacho Beristain. Like you can see Juan Manuel Marquez is good, is solid, has talent, but it's not the generational talent that other guys are exhibiting. All the qualities. Juan Manuel Marquez is
Marquez ain't Ricardo Lopez.
No, it's not Finito Lopez. And Beristain's, according to his experience, says, okay, you want to do this? You want to fight this way? I can show you. Eddie Reynoso, I don't see a guy like Eddie Reynoso teaching all these guys how they has to fight based on his experience because Eddie Reynoso has one fighter.
But you have to understand that with Ignacio Beristain, he's a different type of cat.
Yeah, a whole career based in one fighter.
Yeah.
So
isn't that Virgil Hunter, Leo? Do you view Eddie as being the Mexican Virgil Hunter?
In some ways, yes.
Because I'm this is what I think, right? The point that Leo's making, I feel that way. You can't duplicate Canelo. You can't duplicate him and the success that he's, and you've done great work with him, but you're not going to turn Oscar Valdez into Canelo, right? I mean, no. You're not going to turn Andy Ruiz into Canelo, right? No. There are trainers, I feel, and I really don't want to say this on air, but I like Manny Robles as a trainer more than Eddie.
Yeah, he's a better trainer, and he's trained multitude amounts of styles from the amateurs to the pros. Just because Andy Ruiz was the one to make it to the finish line doesn't mean that Manny Robles can't train, better fighters. You got to remember, Manny Robles trained Oscar Valdez to his first world title too.
Yeah, I mean,
so not to the Ignacio Beristain point, right? Ignacio Beristain comes from an old school way of training. And his style matches his fighters. A high left hand, a right hand right on the telephone, good head movement, good combinations from weird angles, a good 1-2, good defense, and also fighters that have ridiculous amounts of heart. Because you got to look at it like from this perspective. There was times in Juan Manuel Marquez's career that his eye was closed, face all fucked up, and he was still landing them same combinations and stopping dudes. And let's look at it. He also trained Rafael Marquez, and we all know what he did with, Israel Vasquez. He ruined that man's fucking eye. He ruined that man's life. But, you got to remember, it's also the fighter, too.
It's the fighter, too, but I'm going to say this. I feel that there are trainers out there that they can get something out of everybody. And then I see somebody like Eddie, and it reminds me of Freddie, that Freddie is not a magician because of what he's doing with Manny or what he did with Manny. He's not a magician. He's not going to turn you into Manny. Eddie is not going to turn you into Canelo. You know what I mean? Whereas there is other trainers like Joel Diaz, like Manny
Eddie
Hill,
Futch.
like if we're going to get old school, Eddie Futch. There are trainers that I see them on a regular basis, and I see how their fighters do. And no, their fighters aren't fucking Canelo. No, their fucking fighters aren't Manny Pacquiao, but they do all right. And when they get those fighters, you do see a difference. I see a young guy like a Shane McGuigan, and I can wholeheartedly say when he gets a fighter, they do end up looking better. Though most of the time, Daniel looked kind of shit in that Trevor Bryan fight. He looked kind of shit. I'm just being real. But other than that, other fighters that end up with Shane, they end up looking all right. And it's
Josh
like
Taylor looked a lot better under Shane McGuigan than he looked under Ben Davison. Shit.
Cyclone Promotions Josh Taylor is a bad motherfucker. This Ben Davison, Vidal Sassoon. Let me read these super chats. Sandman, bottom line is, and I love Canelo, all these fighters leaving is not a good look. I kind of feel that way. Two of your star pupils, they lose, Oscar and Canelo. Then you lose three guys. You lost Ryan, but most people think Ryan's bitch. Andy, undisciplined, but Frankie also. It kind of looks like everybody's jumping ship. The whole crew, it kind of looked like they jumping ship. That's what it looked like. Is Oscar going to stay with Eddie? Because Oscar's about to come back.
But Julius, you also got to think, like even Sugar Ray Robinson's own trainer said that he was the greatest trainer who ever lived, even though that was the only champion he ever fucking made. Like, that's you got to think, like the ego of the trainer is probably as big as the ego of the fighter. And like everybody keeps saying that he's been working with Canelo since he was 15. So obviously he's going to know all of Canelo's strengths and weaknesses. That doesn't translate to every fighter that he trains.
I mean, that's the point that I'm making, that you're not going to turn everybody that walked through them doors into Canelo.
Well, there's only, how many Canelos are there? It's generational talent, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, he's got like two brothers. They don't have red hair though. Their hair fell out, but it's hard. Michael Giles says Ryan needs to go to Texas and to get that man down booty up. Yeah, he need to go to Texas, bro. The booty up
promotion. They just showed Artur Beterbiev hitting a bag with hammers, metalhead hammers.
Bad dude, bro. He's a bad dude.
They showed him, instead of giving him a Russian flag when they introduced him, like as like the little like promo, they put a Canadian flag up there. They're trying to
who knows the Canadian national anthem?
Nobody.
Oh, Canada.
The Canadians don't even know that anthem. They're Canadian.
They have some fantastic porn stars, though.
I tell you what, Canadian women are fine, though. I ever seen
they
popping
are.
up. They
fine as fuck.
They are
fine as fuck, bro. I'm telling you, I went to the gym one day with my man.
Canadian women are the Brazilians of North America.
That's a fact. Say it one more time for the people in the back.
Canadian women are the Brazilians of North America. I fucking said it. I fucking said it. They're fucking hot, bro. They're fucking hot, and they speak French. It's not Quebec. It's Quebec, motherfuckers. They're hot.
I want to add one thing to what you were saying about Andrew Ruiz. Andrew Ruiz is not hot. Andrew Ruiz, legitimately though, that dude killed his own career. I mean, I understand all that they don't have dates for him and all the other bullshit. That guy does not want to fight. He got those big paydays. He got fat as fuck, and then he don't want to do shit.
Got fat as fuck? He got fat?
Fatter. That's even possible. Fatter than fuck.
Hey man, he won, got all that money and went to instant fiesta time, man. That was it.
and look, I mean, and there's no other version of the story where that's not true. You got all that fucking money and you said it yourself. You started partying with your peoples and acting like a dickhead, like this man don't have a rematch clause. You got caught with your pants down, bro. And that's why Andy leaving, that's what creates the question. Look at who's leaving. Andy, who was already undisciplined.
Ryan.
You know what I mean? Ryan, who paints his nails and shit and cries. I don't got nothing against crying. I saw Toy Story 3. When they was about to go in the incinerator, I almost cried, bro. When Gandalf died, I cried, bro. A little tear came out. I'm not heartless. I'm not made of stone. All right. But going to the gym and crying, that's different, bro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? What are you crying about?
You embarrassing yourself, man. Motherfuckers ain't gonna respect you, man.
What the fuck going on here? You go to the gym, you immediately start like, what's happening? What's happening? I'm not with the I got a problem, bro. You got to sort it out. My generation, they had problems too. They had to sort them out though.
You know, straight up, the rest of the gym looked at him and they told each other, if he ain't on drugs, kick his ass.
They probably laughed at him, to be honest. Shushu doing some good work on the inside with the short hooks.
Somebody explain to me how Andy Ruiz has had one fight against Chris Arreola. After who else? Who else?
In 2 years, bro.
That's what I'm saying, man. One fight, and he got knocked down by a shot Chris Arreola.
Well, in full fairness, he did have that knee surgery, but that's not like an excuse. I'm just saying, like, a part of it was because he also had surgery.
Let me say this, bro. In 2020, because that's how long Luis Ortiz was calling him out. In 2020, there were 2 fights on the table for him that he could have rebounded off of. One was the Luis Ortiz fight, and the other was a $4 million fight for Dillian White. He didn't do nothing in 2020. The knee surgery, that didn't come up into it until after the Arreola fight. So you sat on your ass all of 2020. You wasn't really trying to fight anyway, even though other people was getting out there and fighting. And I use Canelo as the example because if the cash cow of boxing can get out there and say, no, I'm going to fight. If I could get a fight in, I'm going to get a fight in. You don't have no excuse. Other people fought. Terrence Crawford fought. Jermell Charlo, both the Charlo brothers fought during the pandemic. They fought in the bubble. Shakur Stevenson, a lot of people fought. They found a way. So if you wanted to fight, you had a chance. Eddie offered you $4 million to fight at fight camp in the bubble, in a bubble. You didn't want to do that. You didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz neither. So damn the knee surgery, bro. It's just the way Homeboy just said it. He didn't want to fight, bro. He didn't want to fight.
Look what Slim's boxes said.
Slim says Andy Ruiz got all that money and spent it on pizza and cars. He spent it on bullshit, the way a lot of young guys spend money on bullshit. On one end, as an old man, I want to say you fucked up. But as a human being, I could say, look, when you young, you do dumb shit. That's just all of us. That's literally all of us.
The thing I don't understand too is how is the name Luis Ortiz still a relevant name in boxing in 2022?
I don't know. It's not relevant to me. That dude got dropped by fucking Charles Martin 2 times. It's not a relevant name.
Damn.
And he's like 60.
Bro.
Yeah, he is.
Getting hot top fades, bro. Getting hot top fades.
Bro, how you gonna justify buying a fight if they put it on pay-per-view of an old boxer who can't even keep his stamina up against some little fucking pressure fighter heavyweight who hasn't fought in 2 years? Like,
well, that's the other thing I wanted to ask you, bro. Andy hasn't been fighting. The one fight he has had in the last 2 years, he looked like shit. Now, Luis Ortiz looked like shit in his last fight. What do you got?
Oh, it's a pick 'em at this point.
Who had the most carbs in the last 3 months? I mean, that's, I guess, who you judge it off of.
Probably Andy, man.
For real though, try to sell that to the most degenerate gambling fight fan. How are you going to justify it?
You can't. That's my point. You cannot justify these fights. You cannot justify Luis Ortiz as being a relevant name in boxing. Thank you.
It's not. Honest to God, it's not. He looked like I saw someone make a diagram on Twitter, and on the left they had Derek Chisora, on the right they had Luis Ortiz, and they were trying to make a correlation between them. But the one thing that it's not going to tell you in the diagram is, listen, whether you like it or not, Derek Chisora has fans that pay to see him fight. Losses in the double digits and all. They pay. So fuck comparing him to Ortiz. Ortiz does not have that. It's proven that he doesn't have that. People don't watch his shit like that. If you actually saw the Charles Martin fight and you looked out to where the people were supposed to be at, bro, that shit was damn near empty.
But why? How can you justify paying a pay-per-view for one nobody and another one's a has-been. You cannot justify it. It's not possible. Of course, no one's going to show up. I mean,
But you know what? But you know what you can justify though? How about a former champion versus an up-and-comer in Boots versus Thurman? That's something you could actually justify because that's something people would actually pay to see, I think.
I'm gonna be honest with you because there's a disgusting part of me, a sadistic part of me that would pay $80 to see Thurman get knocked out.
That's because you're a degenerate. That's why. Just admit it.
I'm an asshole, and I would love nothing more than for someone who doesn't have a lot of substance in their resume, like Boots, but I believe he has the talent and the ability to knock out Keith Thurman. I really would pay to see that. I would.
Can I tell you something too? I hate to admit this, but you put Keith Thurman in there with the right person at 147 and the people that want to see him get stretched, that fight does 300, 400,000 buys.
I'll say 250. No, 250. 250. Let's not oversell it because it's not 2017. Nobody's high on Keith. Nobody.
I know, but to see him get his ass beat, I would pay to see Virgil or Boots.
Wait a minute. You said Virgil, and that's different. You know why it's different. Let's not beat around the bush.
Or
the Chicano fans are gonna buy that fucking fight, bro.
What about Tank? Jules, I will pay to see.
Because Tank, you're right, Tank.
Tank would get parked by Keith Thurman. I don't care what Josh said.
I'm gonna start calling him Tank. Take right now.
Tank would get parked.
Get this.
He would get parked. Stop that.
Tank Davis versus Keith Thurman does more pay-per-view buys than Spence and Crawford.
Javante Taint Davis versus Keith Thurman sells 400,000 pay-per-view buys.
It does more than Bud versus Spence.
No, I won't do more than that. You exaggerating now.
That's a hot take.
350 to 400,000 is the number.
I like that fight. Tank versus Keith.
Tank versus Keith.
Tank versus Keith. Can I watch them simultaneously knock each other out? Because that's what I want to see. Literally, both of them knock each other out unconscious.
I would hope they both hit each other so hard, both their heads explode and they die.
I would.
Bro, come on, stop that, Jules.
I want that fight, Jules. Why do I want that fight, though, Jules?
But you want Thurman versus Taint?
Yes.
Tank gets slumped. I'm telling you, Tank gets slumped. Tank gets slumped bad, bro. Stop with that. I got Tank getting laid out.
Now you know what? So lower than that,
bro. You can say whatever you want about dude. Like, bro, the only reason why Thurman played politics is because he couldn't get the Floyd Mayweather fight, bro. But real talk, I really do think this. If Thurman would have got the Floyd fight, I think he would have fought Spence. And I think he would have gave Spence a real tough fight, man, because he can box, man. Let's not give it like pre-injury. Keith Thurman was gonna. I had him a favorite beating, Earl Spence.
All right, now somebody take themselves out, because I want to come in and add something to the panel for everybody, for all of us. All right, so somebody just take yourself out, and then I'll bring you back in.
I'll jump in.
I'm gonna bring you back. All right.
Somebody already did, right?
Yes, pretty Ricky.
Can you bring hold on, bro. Like, see, somebody jumped right on. Hold on. I need it to stay clear, bro. Nobody say anything. Fucking echo, bro.
Oh shit, we got Leonard Ellerby on the channel.
Leonard Ellerby, where?
Is that who you adding? You're adding nostrils?
Nah, bro.
Hey, Jules, Lobster 11 has a really good question, man.
I got you. Hold on, let me do this.
Drew is. Oh wow.
Oh wow. Sorry.
Oh wow. Drew, I got to ask you a question.
What's the question?
Is Steph Curry top 10 in the NBA of all time? Players.
I mean, that's not.
Is he better?
That's not the wildest take I ever heard.
Is he better than Oscar Robinson and Jerry West? I don't think he's better than Oscar Robinson, but Jerry West, I can say that because, bro, if you can average a triple double back in those times when assists basically said you had to pass the ball and the guy had to take 2 dribbles and score, nah, man, I say Oscar Robinson is still better than Steph Curry because I was talking to an old head about basketball. They said Oscar Robinson was so good. If he wanted to leave 8th grade, he could have played professional ball and still been a good player. So what do you think, Bruce? Are you a basketball watcher dude like that or no?
Nah, not really.
No,
Hey,
no, you
Jules.
could put Steph in there. You could put Steph in there.
Hey, Jules. So Lobster 11 asked the question. He says, with the state of the economy, not only in the U.S. but worldwide, do y'all think pay-per-views going to take a hit as disposable income shrink?
Yeah, because of inflation, bro. Look. I know that it's gone up considerably because what I was paying for groceries last year isn't what I'm paying for groceries this year. It's noticeable that it's more, bro. It's a lot more. So lucky for me that I have disposable income to buy these stupid ass pay-per-views, but the average Joe doesn't. They don't. So you can't sell a fight like Ruiz versus Ortiz that really belongs on regular Fox and really belongs on regular Showtime. And you're only doing it to satisfy the purse demands of 2 guys who want to get paid over market value. You ain't more than $1 million fighter, bro. If that. Can we really say that Luis Ortiz is $1 million fighter?
Absolutely not.
Can we? If I'm a fighter, I don't care what the fans think because I'm putting my life at risk. So
that's not the question, bro. That's not the question. If you ask anybody, everybody wants to get paid over market value. That's not the question. The question is, can you justify paying this guy $1 million, $2 million, $3 million when you know?
Fuck no. You can't justify that. But if the fighter's accustomed to that, and the fighter, has gotten that before, he's gonna play that type of game. Like, let's keep it a buck.
I'm gonna ask you another question then. Is he accustomed to that? What the fuck he got paid for Charles Martin?
Well, he got paid. What did he get paid for the second Deontay Wilder fight? I want to know that.
Bro, he got knocked out in the fight. You don't get knocked out and then you got to give me what I got before I got knocked out. It don't work like that, bro.
My thing is this though. You gonna fight AJ for stupid money, and you dead ass fucking.
No, that's because hold up. Listen, I believe he was taken advantage of in that situation. Johnny Foreigner situation. That man don't know what the fuck they be talking about. They talked him out of that fucking money. I don't want to go up the bat for him because at the end of the day, that's your team. You letting them do that to you. That's your team doing that.
I would have fired Luis de Cubas right then and there. That dude would have been out of
all them fucking bozos. Like, bro, like y'all really lost me like $5-6 million. Like y'all fucking bunch of fucking bozos.
Just like niggas losing $8 million and they say Tank with Mayweather Promotions forever. Tank has no balls. Disgusting.
Whatever he signed a long time ago, he signed over his rights, and really, he too dumb to want to get him back. You feel me? Like, he not that kind of cat that he going. And we talked about this. He don't got the mindset of his mentor, and he don't have the mindset of an Oscar or a Sugar or these guys that went into business for themselves. He not that fighter that's going to do that. He is a dude that need people to do his thinking for him. He is that.
And hey, to Jules. Also, let's look at this. This is the entertainment business. Remember, this kid has a hit and run, a very bad hit and run looming over his head. Say if he were to sign that, and you got to go to court. Hey, bro, don't think they can't play that game.
They lawyers been making a lot of shit go away. Rolly shit went away. Feel me? Rolly shit did go away. Like his case or whatever. Like, I don't know if they got the same lawyer for what it's worth, but I would imagine that they might. That PBC has a lawyer on on standby for these
Al
cats.
Heyman's an attorney, but also understand this. Look at the fighters they're signing. They're not the smartest, reasonable cats, bro. And that's a good thing for fighters. But if we're dealing with, regular, well-adjusted human beings, that's not a good thing. So at the end of the day, hey, you want this money? Oh, you remember when you did that there? I think that's when the blackmail component comes into it, in my opinion.
If they are, let me read these 2 super chats. This is gonna get people mad. I thought Canelo looked heavy and slow in his last 2 fights. This going up in weight is a very bad idea. I don't like it. Well, he's a little ass man, and a lot of people don't want to just accept that he is a little ass man. Like, this is not a big person. He 5'7" if he ain't 5'6", bro. This is not a big guy. So 175 on him, it ain't gonna be the same as it is on a 6-foot frame. You got more
Jules,
for that weight to be at. If you a low ass man and you 175 and then you rehydrate to 185, yeah, you might be a little
Anthony
slow.
Yard's on TV.
Who?
Yay.
Anthony Yard.
Yay.
Yay. That's the dude from Cyborg, right?
Jules, how tall are you, bro? Because
why you asking? Don't ask me no personal info, my guy. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Because you be making fun of short people like it's nothing.
I'm dead ass serious. If you 5'6", you not big, fam.
Hey, you make fun of. You mad little.
If you 5 foot, it's not mad little. Mad little is 5 feet. But if you 5'6", 5'7", right, and you got 175 pounds, where is all that weight gonna be at?
Around your stomach.
Look like White Muhammad Kwai, man. Like, I don't know how you made 75 at all, bro.
That's the point I'm making. So if you got a dude that's about maybe 5'11", 6 feet even, 175 pounds, only rehydrates to 180, it's going to be different for him. That 175 don't feel like shit. You got a low ass man like Canelo. I seen him next to the Charlos. They look like they was in different weight classes.
Hey, Jules, let me ask you a question, a personal question.
Why a lot of people want to ask me personal questions. Do I ask you personal questions?
Well, no, it's really a professional question, but I mean,
okay.
So, what would you regret more in your life? Fighting somebody or losing out on $120 million?
What would I regret?
Yes.
Losing out on $120 million.
So you're a normal person. I mean,
I would assume. I would imagine.
Bro, I cannot stop thinking about how Wilder turned down $120 million to fight AJ. He literally turned that.
Can I say this? It wouldn't be so bad. It wouldn't be so bad if you turned it down to get your ass beat. That's what makes it bad. You turned that money down to get your ass beat. That's why I find that shit the funniest shit in the world. I take every opportunity to bring that up. Because I know these motherfuckers don't like to hear it, because I know these motherfuckers was the ones that was actually regaling and rejoicing that he found an alternative to AJ when at a time where it looked like there was no alternative. Most people don't remember that Wilder, you ran out of PBC guys to beat on. There really wasn't nobody else over there that people want to see you fight. You already fought Ortiz, which was the one fight that you could have made that got attention. And the first fight, it did get attention. They did good viewership on Showtime with that fight. But it's like, now, what you going to do? It's AJ or nobody. And in comes Fury with his comeback and his depression bullshit that I'm sick of hearing about. In comes this guy, and he saved the day for Wilder because he was the perfect alternative. Oh, he's a UK guy. He beat Vladimir before Anthony Joshua, but he's not a puncher. Nobody thought he was a puncher until the second fight. Nobody thought Fury could knock people out like that until the second fight. None of that started, not even after the first fight. None of that started till the second fight. We're like, oh yeah, Fury come forward, knock motherfuckers out. Nobody thought that. So when I see that you are the architect of your own downfall and all your stupid shit, when you was actually sitting there gloating saying, I got one belt. That's all I need is one belt. That WBC, that more precious. You cornpone, stupid, backwater country ass motherfucker. You deserve it. You deserve it. You silly motherfucker. You deserve it.
Did you just call him a backwater motherfucker?
Backwater motherfucker.
Okay.
No, backwater cornpone country motherfucker is what he said.
Backwater cornpone country bumpkin ass motherfucker. You really thought you made a smart business decision. You know what you did? You let Al Heyman make the decision for you, not realizing Al don't care about you. He cares about the budget he gets from Fox and Showtime. He don't care about you. You
They
would have
don't
made more
understand
money.
it.
You would have made
This
more
is the same
money.
guy who was twerking and said he wanted to get pregnant too. So
Now
I mean,
listen,
come on.
the Zone offered him, right? And he was insistent. It's not that he had to fight Brazil. He was insistent that the Brazil fight be part of the deal because Brazil was made his mandatory, right? You was insistent for some reason you could fight AJ and get around all of this and go straight for AJ, but you insisted on a Brazil fight. The Zone told him, we'll give you $20 million for Brazil. You said no. Stefan Espinoza himself told Keith Idek that he didn't get 20 mil from Showtime for Brazil. So you literally took less money on both fronts. You took less money than the Zone offered you for that same fight with that same fighter. You took less money there, and you got your motherfucking ass beat for less money with Fury. You a fucking bozo. And it's a million bozos just like you that are so fucking stupid they can't see the lesson in that story. Stop trying to be something you not, fam. You're not a business guy. The fuck makes you a business guy? You letting somebody else think for you and talk for you and make decisions for you because you a fighter, not a business guy. So cut that shit out, you cornpone motherfucker. You let this goofy bastard lose you a lot of money. And you got to tell yourself, I made the right. Go ahead, make yourself feel better. You look like a fucking idiot to me. An idiot. You could have lost that fight to AJ or you could have won that fight with AJ. But the main thing is you would have made more money. There's no two ways about it. And you admitted that yourself. They offered me more money for AJ than they offered me for you. And what did you do? You chose to get your ass beat.
But he likes that lighter touch. That was the thing. If you look at how he's been following his career for the past 5, 6, 7 years, it's all about avoiding, finding lighter touches, getting the money. It's never been about like fighting the best fighter.
He could have fought Vitaly Klitschko. He could have fought Vladimir Klitschko. He could have fought a whole bunch of people.
He could have made money when Vladimir offered him the step aside money. What doesn't get talked about? Vladimir offered him step aside money, even though he wasn't Vladimir's mandatory challenger. He told him, "Yo, I'll pay you to step aside if you let me fight Stavern first. Then we fight. Except when we fight, it'll be for all the belts, not just the green one." And what he do? Oh, I want 10 million. Bro, 10 million.
He doesn't want to fight the guys he thinks or knows he's going to lose to. He knew he was going to lose to Joshua. He knew it was at least a challenge, if not. He thought a fat, coked up guy from United Kingdom who's been off for 2 years, of course he feels like it's a lighter touch. He's like, I got that guy. It's no problem at all.
I mean, the way I see it, Wilder is the poster child for the goofy bastards of this generation that really think they know what they're doing. And even when it all goes wrong and it all blows up in their face, they don't have the faculties psychologically to admit, I fucked up. Fury doesn't come into it unless you let him into it because he wasn't your mandatory challenger. You never had to fight him. All this shit that happened to you, let's say that Fury did cheat. Okay, he doesn't get to cheat unless you bring him into it.
Julius,
there's no way you tell this story to where you're not responsible.
Julius, how long until that fight, its value is slashed 3/4, where it's only worth...
Which fight?
No, the Wilder versus AJ, if they ever make it. Like, when is it slashed?
Listen, bro, look, it's always... I'll go as far as saying this, and this will be to the Brits more than the Americans. Because look at Amir Khan and Kell Brook. That shows you that they really support their boxing. That you can have two guys that are clearly past it. Their best days are over. But on the strength of the rivalry, you can still draw a crowd with the fight. That fight will still be worth something, but it's not going to be what it was worth in 2018. I can tell you that. No, it's not. AJ lost 2 times. Wilder's eating mushrooms and cutting R&B records.
Well, he's also 36, right?
Yeah, I think he's going on 37, bro.
That's what I mean. Like, how long until the fight's value is cut significantly because of all those factors? Because AJ, I feel like, and this is going to be controversial, but I think AJ is going to have a case for the Hall of Fame if he makes Undisputed. But the biggest issue that AJ is going to have later in his career after this Usyk fight is getting the right kinds of fights because he's all but cleaned out the entire division already.
I would say this: whatever AJ, there's a lot riding on AJ in this next fight. There's a lot on the line for him. You know what I mean? He can keep fighting the people that he's been fighting and continue to make money because he has that kind of fan base to where whenever he fights, they'll go. It's not going to be the same as before. Better still, he has more longevity than Wilder. Wilder's fans, it's like if you look at the first Fury fight, decent numbers for a debut on a pay-per-view. It is 325,000 buys is a decent number for a debut on pay-per-view, but that was with Fury. The very next fight, when you fought Luis Ortiz for the second time, you didn't do 325,000. You didn't do 300,000. I think it was like 225,000. Wilder is another guy that doesn't have fans. It's bullshit. If it's just you, you can't sell the fight. If it's just you, you needed the Brit to go to 300,000 to what was it, 800,000 for the second one, then 600,000 for the third one. You need a dance partner. You're not that guy. For as much of that bullshit as you see on Twitter, I look at the people that are buying the fight because that's what matters and that's what's important. And you don't have it like that to where you can go in there with a Povetkin and it'll do 500,000. But no, you don't have it like that. We saw it.
He had a lot of people that were vicariously living through him, and they were all fans and up and all happy until he got his ass beat, and then after that, it was over.
Well, more importantly, and it's like I don't like saying this because I don't like how it sounds, but the key demographic that they were marketing him to, they're not the demographic that buys the fights. There's no other way for me to say that. That look, when they put you out there with Ortiz, did the fucking fight sell? No. When they put you at the Barclays Center with Brazil, did you sell out the Barclays Center? No. Only 13,000 showed up. The Barclays seats 19,000. So if you was really that dude, how come when you on your own, this is what the numbers look like? I don't want to hear it from fucking people on Twitter. If you ain't spending money, then you don't count.
His broke ass fans were making bets they couldn't even ante up on.
It's just goofy. It's like it's childish to argue something. Like they'll argue with you, a lot of his supporters, knowing underneath it all, you didn't buy his fucking fight. What are you arguing about? You didn't buy his fight. Just like the Spence shit. I bought two of Spence's fights, so yeah, I could fucking argue. I'm a fucking consumer. But if you don't buy shit and all you do is stream everything and steal every fucking thing, what are you arguing about?
Hey, Jules. So I figured this would be the perfect time to ask, but now that you've had time to digest, how do you feel about the Spence versus Ugas fight?
There's something weird about that fight that just doesn't sit well with me. I don't
I
know.
completely agree.
I want to be objective, though. I really want to just take all my my baggage out of it and just look at the fight for what it was. And I'm like, maybe the power is why Ugas didn't move. Maybe the power is why Ugas didn't fight, because he didn't fight. He didn't try to. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's because there's so many punches coming at him and they're hard and he doesn't want to open up. But it's difficult because this is normally a guy who can move. He normally moves.
If you look at how he performed against Pacquiao, it was like two completely different fighters. It was really odd.
And it's not just the Pacquiao fight. It's also how he handled Sean Porter, that he can manage distance. But with Spence, you stayed in one spot, shelled up, didn't move, didn't try to, work off the counter, nothing like that. You just stood there and got hit. And it's like, that's what really doesn't sit well for me, that I'm like, look, man, motherfuckers fix fights all the time. And I'm not going to come out and say, yeah, that fight was fixed. I'm just saying the fight is a weird-looking fight. I still feel it's a weird-looking fight.
It was.
What really gets me is that I've seen fighters go into their bouts injured, and no matter how I try to spin it, he doesn't look injured. He looks perfect. Like he was walking into the ring, he looked happy. He climbs in, and then you get after the first 3 rounds, he's not doing anything still, and I just don't know why.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, and they're going on and on about, Spence has improved. He's back where he's at. Come on, man. Anybody can stand there in front of you and let you hit him. We don't know. I mean, has he improved a little bit? Sure, but we don't know how much he's really improved because dude was standing there not doing nothing.
That's
Can I
my
say
thing.
something?
That's my thing, country. That when they say that he improved on what? The guy that he was fighting wasn't doing anything, bro.
That was not a
Okay.
normal fight, man.
Let me say this.
country? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let's let Leo in on this shit. Leo, go ahead.
Okay, let's cut off all that you guys maybe got the fight fix. Let's fixate on something that we saw in the Ugas fight, and we also saw in the Danny Garcia fight. Dude, if you compare the speed of Errol Spence from the Algieri fight, from the Brook fight, with these last two fights, dude, Errol Spence has got a lot slower, but a lot. It's not even the. It doesn't look like it looks like 10 years older. I'm talking about the speed. The power is there, but if we are talking about the speed, hand speed, dude, it's crazy how he has diminished in that area.
Leo,
I think Errol Spence is technically sound, like Tim Bradley said. I think the jab is real. For me, the jab is real. It's not matchmaking. That jab is gonna give problems to Terence Crawford, I think. But the difference from the speed that he had, I've been saying it. I got when that fight was first in talks 3-4 years ago, I got decent chance to Errol Spence to at least stand on his feet the 12 rounds. Maybe pulls off a decision. Maybe Terence Crawford stops him. But for me, it was a 50-50 fight. I don't see this fight a 50-50 fight.
Me neither.
It's because I think his punch resistance is deteriorating too. You got to look at that also.
Let me say this. This is one of the things that stands out for me. When you say that a guy improves, that means that or at least usually the context that I think of improvement is you've either tightened up on a weakness or you're showing something now that you weren't showing before. That is where I file improvement. So when I think about the Ugas fight, I didn't see improvement. I saw you teeing off on a guy that wasn't fighting back. That's what I saw. That's my view of the fight. I can't trust myself, though, because I know that I got baggage. Like, yeah, I got baggage, bro. I don't like this dude. Am I being objective? Am I not seeing this clearly? But when I think about the fight and what I saw, the same way I always think about a fight and what I saw, I'm like, bro, the dude wasn't fighting. The dude was shallow.
What we saw was a problem.
Look,
country,
against Pacquiao, he was looking fine managing distance. Against Spence, I could have sworn I thought it was Spence's birthday because he would look like a piñata, bro.
He did. Look, this is what I'm like, I'm like, I don't know if I'm bugging. Maybe I'm just not the person to ask about that fight. But the fight I saw, you got a guy in front of you that when he come forward, he's not jabbing and he's not doing nothing. He come forward and that's it. Pop, 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 pop. Getting hit.
And that's what I really want to ask you. Like, is true or false? Like, Ugas has an educated jab. I've seen it. You've seen it. I bet country's seen it. Like, this guy, it's not that he hits hard. It's just he knows where to hit. He's good with angles. He just literally stood there like, what the fuck, man? I don't get it.
I don't want to be like, and I don't want to be that guy that jumps to wild conclusions just because something don't sit well with me. So the most I can say is, look, the silver lining is if he's improved and he's back to stopping guys, great. I don't want to hear no excuses when Crawford stops him.
The silver lining about that fight is Ugas did not want to be the spoiler.
I mean, look, how hard is it to pay? Like, I ain't even going to do that. All I'm going to say is, look, he won the fucking fight, right? Right. And he stopped the guy, right? Right. Fuck it then. I'll take it at face value. There's something about that fight that doesn't sit well with me, but it doesn't matter. That fight is over, all right? Do I think he could do that? No, you can't do that to Crawford, bro. I don't think that for a second. Nothing I saw in that fight leads me to believe that you could do that to Crawford. Nothing. That dude wasn't fighting. That's what I seen. That dude to come forward, maybe he'll show a little jab and then do this shit while he tees off on the dude. That's not a fight.
I think a lot of people are overrating Ugas, honestly. Like, I think he is a good welterweight, but the skill gap between him and Sean Porter, I still think is high. Like a lot of people thought that, yeah, I think he gave Sean Porter problems, but I still think Sean Porter is a better fighter and he still won enough rounds. Like I think a lot of people are like overrating Ugas just because he beat Pacquiao. But I
It's
mean,
not because of Pacquiao. It's actually because of Figueroa. It's because of Porter actually more than Pacquiao. Like with Pacquiao, look, Pacquiao hadn't fought in 2 years. I don't read anything into that fight. Anything. That was a 40-something-year-old man that hadn't fought in 2 years. I can't make no evaluation on that. It's everything before that. That he beat the fuck out of Porter from the inside out. From the inside, he was riding punches and coming back with hooks and throwing. Like you showed in that fight, you're not just an outside fighter. You could be pretty good on the inside too. I didn't see none of that with Spence. You didn't do nothing. It doesn't make sense, but.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, I know you say that about Pacquiao, but, like, do we say the same thing about older fighters, like really good older fighters, like when they hit that plateau, like when they can't do it no more? Because, like, I know Manny, he was good against Thurman, but, like, I guess I just didn't expect Ugas to be as bad as he was, you know? I guess that's just the bottom line. Like, to this day,
All right, I want to add to it. Let me add this. Fights have ebbs and flows. Different types of fights have different types of ebbs and flows. And I swear to God, it's just me. Watching that fight, something wasn't right. The things you expect to see in a fight, the reactions you expect, not just from those two fighters, any two fighters. Something wasn't right in that fight. That's all I'm saying. When I think about that fight, that's really what stands out like a sore thumb to me. Any two fighters we talking about, whether you talking about a pure boxer, puncher, pressure fighter, any way you mix and match that, something about that fight, I'm like, yo, something is just not right about this, bro. And that's just me. I can live with that just being me. But like I said, I don't think about that fight, bro.
Julius, okay, when we talk about fixed fights, I remember this fight. Do you remember the Kiran fight, Lucas Matisse versus Kiran?
I don't remember that one.
The fight before Manny Pacquiao. That shit was
super
weird.
Yes. Yeah.
That shit was super weird.
Dive, bro. He took a dive.
That for me, a credible way to fix a fight. To take a dive. Like get hit clean a couple of times and go down. Easy. But what Ugas did, for me personally, I don't see it like being a fixed fight. Because if you want to take a dive, get hit clean a couple of times and go down. Easy.
But can we say this? Because it was a pay-per-view, because of the size of the stage, because it was Errol's big comeback fight. It's not like, in other words, what are you really asking Ugas to do? Get hit a couple of times. That's what you be asking. Get hit a couple of times. Go a couple of rounds. Get hit a couple of times. You ain't got to go right down, but get hit a couple of times. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, nothing is outside the realm of possibility. Nothing is outside the realm of possibility that they could have told a guy, yo, look, stand there for a couple of rounds, take a couple of shots, and we'll have the ref call it after a while. You feel me? That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Hey, Jules, the thing that really tripped me out about the Spence Ugas fight too was the fact that Ugas hurt him at least twice, and how could he not see that and not jump on that?
That too. I mean, there's that, but I guess because that can be reconciled, what really stands out to me isn't even that. It's everything in between. This man wasn't fighting, bro. Go back and watch it. This man was not fighting at all.
From what I remember, they were giving bad corner advice as well. And some of the times they weren't even saying anything.
Like I said, the reason I have put that fight way back there in a foul is because I'm like, look, let me just take it at face value. Spence beat the fuck out of the guy, right? I'm gonna just go with the cover story. Spence beat the fuck out of the guy. Cool, no excuses when he fights Crawford. Because before the car accident, I already picked Crawford to beat him. Before the car accident. So if he's back to being old Errol from 27, awesome. No excuses.
100% agree, man. And no, I'm not bringing this
enough.
up to like, I'm not bringing this up for any controversy. It's just literally, I can't stop thinking about it sometimes. And I'm shutting up about it, but
no. I mean, it's a good talking point. It's just that I don't know what to do with something like that where there is no proof. And you know me, like I don't like to just say wild shit and don't have something to corroborate the wild shit. So I'm gonna just be like, look, I'm not gonna be like them. I'm not gonna be cheap. I'm not gonna be petty. I'm not gonna right. Take it for what it is. He stopped the guy. He stopped the. Can he do that to Crawford? I don't think so.
Well, how many times did he get dropped in the fight? Because I could swear that he literally stood there for 10 rounds and just got pounded.
You got a guy who before the car accident could not put a dent in Mikey Garcia. He couldn't put a dent in him. He couldn't put a dent in him. You got a guy that teed off on Danny Garcia full 12 rounds. He comes back after a year. It's too storybook, bro. He comes back. He finally gets a stoppage. Finally. Right. It sews itself up too neat for like, bro, that's not how shit happens. It's not how shit happens, bro.
He didn't even protest the stoppage.
I don't know, but I remember that sparring he had for the show. He was having some pimples on his back.
Your favorite manager right there, David McWaters in the back right there, baby.
Oh, David McWater looked like a thumb with glasses on. He do though. Look like a thumb, like somebody thumb.
Hey, did you see the suit he had on? That character
what
suit he had on?
What is Supernova doing with his beard though?
Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know why he like that shit.
I tell you,
peroxide, man.
I don't know why. I don't know what's with these guys that like to dye their hair colors, bro. That's just.
Hey, look at his trainer. His trainer in the back has the same.
He found that beard at Charlo's house.
But yeah, like I said, when it comes to that fight, I have a lot of unresolved thoughts. So all I can say is it's behind us. Doesn't matter anymore. Ugas wasn't pound for pound anyway. So at minimum, if that was a legit beatdown, cool.
And if I'm being completely honest with you, I really don't care about Crawford versus Spence anymore. I'm more interested in Crawford versus Charlo. Period.
I'll tell you what.
I think that would be an interesting fight.
I said this the last time that we broached this subject that I don't care about that fight for the same reasons I used to. I only care about it for gloating and talking shit. I don't care about the fight. I don't.
Yeah, I just want to see like PBC fans be mad, honestly. But I've always said like Crawford was gonna win. Since he got the belt from Jeff Horn, I always said late stoppage for Crawford in that fight.
Like before it really was about, I had a higher opinion of Errol. When the fight first became a talking point, I had a higher opinion of him. I thought better of him. Whereas that degraded over time. And now it's just about making these motherfuckers eat crow. That's really all it's about. Like, other than that, I don't really... if Errol go in there, get knocked the fuck out, no, I'm not gonna be surprised, bro. That's what the fuck I've been saying for 4 or 5 fucking years, right? So it's not about that. It's about watching these clowns have to watch that and watching a spirit break when that happens. That's what it's about.
Dude, you know that your dude's in trouble when people talk about it like it's already happened. Like, there's no doubt in my mind either. It's just hilarious. Like, these guys really think he has a chance with Crawford, literally. The guy that he literally went 12 with, he put away in what, 9?
Bro, let me read these 2 super chats. They've been sitting there for a while. Also, I don't know why Spence gets pound for pound for list after beating you guys. My younger sister could have beaten that you guys. Well, being in the spirit of fairness and objectivity, look, I rate the fucking guy, right? Why? He fought 3 world champions, got 3 belts, right? So I'm gonna give him the same consideration that I give everybody else. But in my heart of hearts, I just don't feel he's all that. Like, bro, all you really do in a fight is throw more punches. That's it. That's your adjustment that you make. You start off a certain way, and then after a couple of rounds, you pick it up. You up the tempo. But it ain't nothing special. It's just you throwing more punches.
Don't lie to me. You know he beats Tyson Fury. You know he puts on 300 pounds. He could beat Tyson Fury right now, tomorrow.
The level that shit has gotten to is fucking ridiculous. Like it's like, bro, what did this guy do, and who did he beat that it has gotten to this point where people really think he could go to 60 and 68 and fight people like Canelo? Like, come on, B.
But it's also like his fans are like bad mouthing like legends like Roy Jones and James Toney just because they pick Crawford. Like it's like grating almost.
That's that. Go ahead, country.
They're too blind to see, you know, what real. I mean, if they're not real boxing fans, because real boxing fans know if professionals are picking him, you know, I mean, yeah, everybody has their opinion, but if they could see something and the regular hardcore boxing fans do, then the ones that don't, they're casuals as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I've long maintained that when they look at Errol, they perhaps see something that we don't see. It's almost like a childlike affinity that maybe that's their ideal male or some shit like that. I just don't know. I feel like when they see that dude, they must be seeing something I don't see. I see a good fighter that he good. Like, yeah, he good, he's solid, but he ain't great. I already see what the difference is from round 1 to round 3. I see what the difference is. You up the tempo. You throw more punches. You know, you get your range settled, get your jab settled. You know, start breaking a sweat, getting a groove. But all you're really doing is throwing more punches. That's literally it. That's the adjustment. You up the tempo. Other than that, you're not doing no marvelous shit. You know what I mean? Like, really not. And the other thing is defensively, I don't know why they do this, but they try to say that Crawford gets hit too much. And I'm like, bro, look at the CompuBox stats. Hell, look at the fight. Where do you see Crawford gets hit more than Spence?
Right.
And let me give you a crazy scenario that I can sell you on that I know for a fact you would actually believe if I told you. Let me say this. How about I rank Inouye above Tyson Fury? You put 300 pounds on him, like maybe 10 feet. That guy could outbox, get inside, and destroy Tyson Fury as a heavyweight. But since he's a bantamweight, I can't say this guy can fucking gain the weight and go fight one. I think it's fucking ridiculous. I'm so up in arms about this shit because it makes no fucking sense. Yeah, people have tried to explain it to me, but how do you justify? I'm not talking about Usyk, by the way. That's not what I'm getting at. Like, I just want to know, like, you see a guy who's 6'9", can outbox, can fight in the pocket, who's over 300 pounds on his worst day, and can still beat a puncher. How the hell does that equate to someone like, no offense, but Errol Spence beating someone like that? Just like break it down.
Well, look, this is the main thing, because it sounds like you're talking about pound for pound. The way that it works, right? Ideally, the conversation is you take the skills, the thing, and this is the other thing. These idiots don't know what skills are. Like they literally they don't know what they are. They don't know the difference between a proper jab, a lazy jab, moving your head, staying off center, jabbing and then hooking off. They don't know what any of that is, but they love to talk about skill and pound for pound. And it's like when you're looking at the skills of the fighter, or at least what's a good way to start, look at the punches that he uses, right? That's a skill. Picking the punches you're going to use. If you throw an uppercut that splits the guard, or if you have a hook that can sail around the high guard, those are skills because those are applied sciences. Those are things that you're doing willfully. Whereas if a guy hit hard, that's not a skill, bro. That's just that the guy has power. You know, I'm like, that's power is one of them things you either got it or you don't. Speed is one of them things you either got it or you don't. Reflexes, you either got it or you don't. Those are not skills. Skills is picking the right punches. Like, for example, Linares' right hand, he is skilled. How do you know? Whether it's Lomachenko, Haney, or Campbell, that right hand is going to land. And he's the one that's making that's
there's a difference between skills and the attributes.
Yeah, like if you got fast hands, that's an attribute, bro, because not everybody has fast hands. If you got power like Beterbiev, where you don't need to load up on your punches, you could just let them flow and they still heavy. That's an attribute. That's not a skill. The skill that he does have is he protects himself well when he's coming forward. People don't give him that credit, but he actually does protect himself well. He comes forward with his hands high and he parries the other guy's jab. And he's not a counter puncher per se, but he does sometimes counter. That is a skill. Him hitting hard is not a skill. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So when I look at Errol,
a skill.
So when I look at Errol and I'm like, well, what skills does he have that I see that is kind of elite? And the only really thing that stands out that Errol does, good jab, but it seems better than what it is because you're a southpaw and you give a lot of orthodox fighters problems. That's one. And you don't collapse the pocket. That when you come forward, there's still enough room between you and the other guy that you could really drive your punches, because some guys come forward like Sean and they smother their own work. You too close to the guy. You can't put nothing on the punches. Whereas Errol, to his credit, he doesn't do that. There's enough room between him and the other guy that he could really turn his body into the punches, turn his feet into the punches. That's a skill. But it's not like a lot of guys do that though. Like, you know, he's not the only one that does that, right? Like, there's a lot of guys that do. Like, Bivol does that really good, and y'all think he ain't shit, and he been doing that.
Well, it's just.
I think the big problem is that they confuse athleticism with skills.
Mm-hmm. Because they think that any fighter that can move a little quick is super skillful, or any fighter that uses a shell guard is super skilled. Literally, this is what I see when I see these conversations and the dudes that they be bigging up. I see that you talking about like a prototype, almost like a specific type of guy. It's not even skills, because you don't know what the fuck skills are. If you know what skills were, you know that Chocolatito is one of the most skilled motherfuckers I've ever seen. How can you come forward and roll and ride all them punches and slip? It's harder to defend yourself when you're the one coming forward. And it's not a lot of guys I've ever seen that is as defensively responsible as Choco coming forward, being the aggressor. They think skills is Lara staying way out there on the outside fighting behind a fucking jab.
Like a sharpshooter.
Like, sharpshooting could be a skill, yeah, but sometimes it's just you just don't want to fight. Like Rigo and Casemiro.
Well, and bro, it's like this. I'm not like trying to be militant to be an asshole, but let's be real. Like when I look at the divisions, the heavyweight division is the crowning like division out of all of them. Like, you are, in my point of view, you are the greatest athlete in the world if you're the heavyweight champion, because you have all the attributes of an athlete combined with the skill to beat up another person of equal or greater size. So when I say that about Fury and Spence, I literally see Fury as a better boxer all around, even as a heavyweight, than Spence is a boxer at welterweight. So,
but see, you're making it specifically about Fury, and that's where you're losing me, because it's not just about Fury. The heavyweight division is a different division than every other division, because you could have a more skillful fighter like Billy Khan. When he fought Joe Louis, he was boxing his socks off. At the time that Billy Khan got knocked out, he was up on the cards. And what it basically is with the heavyweight division is you have a lot of situations like that where you can have a fighter who technically, you know, his technique is better than the other guy. But if the other guy gets through, fight's over. Now, because he got through, he's more skillful than the other guy?
No.
That's
not just heavyweight boxing. That's for every.
But more so in the heavyweight division, because think about the fights that we've seen, right? Dillian White was literally outboxing Povetkin in the first fight, got knocked smooth out off one uppercut that he didn't see, right? In turn, Derek Chisora was actually outboxing Dillian. One left hook, fight's over, right? In turn, Carlos Takam was outboxing Derek Chisora. Derek come out of nowhere with a big shot, takes him out. That's why when you talk about the heavyweights, you can't talk about them like they're the smaller men, because they don't have better technique than the smaller men. They literally don't. A lot of the fights are decided sometimes by just a shot got through and the fight was over. And I'm not going to call it a lucky shot. These are all shots that they work on. But that shot getting through does not mean you have better technique than someone else. Yeah, David, here's an example, crude example. If David Price fought Sandor Martin, yeah, of course he's going to knock Sandor Martin out. But is he really a better technical fighter than Sandor Martin?
Ooh.
He's going off on Nova, bro.
Yeah, Nova kept back in the corner, was getting stowed on.
He was getting stalled on. And that's the crudest example I can give, because we know that David Price can knock out Sandor Martin. I think we all agree on that, right?
Yeah,
we don't agree
definitely.
On that?
I haven't thought about it, I'll be honest.
All right. In all likelihood, if David Price lands one punch on Sandor Martin, he's going to put him out. But that
Of
doesn't
course.
make him a better technical boxer than Sandor Martin. No, Sandor has great feet, great counters, great movement, a great jab. He is better technically than the bigger guy. So when the bigger guy beats him, it isn't because he's a better boxer. It isn't because his technique is better. It's just because he's bigger. That's what pound for pound is. That you can have better technique than someone that in a regular setting, they might be able to beat you. But what if you were the same size as them with the technique that you show, that you don't throw a lazy jab, you move your head, you keep it off center, you protect yourself well, you catch and shoot well, you do a lot of things well, but you had the size that you don't actually have. That's what pound for pound is. And that most people get lost on that because, well, most people don't know what a fucking skill is. And like athleticism is not a skill. How the fuck is that a skill? You either have it or you don't.
Well, Julius, that's where I think it actually becomes a little more. It starts to blur a little bit when you go further back, because I could even say the same thing about Mickey Walker, the toy bulldog. He started at 135 and fought for the heavyweight championship to a draw.
He would have to be a skilled guy if he's doing that. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
You can't attribute the success of a fighter like, look at Henry Armstrong. Where did he start? 135? Where did he debut?
Welterweight.
Welterweight. What?
No.
You look at a guy like that, right? And you see how high, where his career capped off. And you know that he's not having this success because of size. It's not size. It's skill.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Is success moving up in weight the most objective metric for pound per pound then? Because I've always thought that.
Yes.
And I mean, that's why I always rated Crawford higher than Spence on the pound per pound list. Because, he's a 3-weight world champion.
Yes, because it's the most literal interpretation. It's the most literal aspect of pound for pound. If you started out at 135 like Duran, right? And you were able to go all the way up to welter, then all the way up the middle. If you were able to do that, well, clearly it's not size. You started out at 135. Something about the way you fight, his inside game, that's literally what it is. It's his inside game. It's what he's throwing, not just that he could throw on the inside. It's a lot of fucking inside fighters. Not all of them are Roberto Duran. It boils down to skill. And skill, the best way to put it is skill is what you apply. Not that you hit hard, not that you're fast, not that you're athletic and you got fast twitch. It's what you apply. Like a skill. Inouye showed us a skill when he had Donaire hurt. Did he go ape shit crazy, throwing any old dumb shit? No. He was still looking for the openings in the guard. He didn't want to waste any punches. That's a skill.
Hey, Julius,
and I don't want to trade with him. I don't want to trade with him because if he throw that left hook the way he did last time, there goes my orbital bone again.
And Tony Mosley said that Henry Armstrong started at featherweight.
Yeah, I just remembered that.
Moving up in weight is one thing, but the other thing that is just as important is quality of competition.
Of course. Of course.
Because, look, Gervonta Davis, for example. Do you remember this guy, a multiple division world champion that didn't fought any top level really? He got handled a couple of vacant titles, and then he fought a guy. He wasn't the best guy, but it was a guy that it wasn't to get in the ring to play off.
I mean, the only other guy like that in this era is Leo Santa Cruz, a four-division champion.
No, okay. There is another way that is worse than that.
Broner.
Broner. And Broner, what happened with Broner is even when he lost, and it was a relatively close fight with Maidana, but he lost. And then what was the conversation about Adrian Broner? What version of Adrian Broner we are gonna get?
Focus AB?
Yeah, and we are gonna
legendary fighter. Focus
conversation about Gervonta. Are we gonna get the focus Gervonta Davis when he finds something solid, someone that he has gained?
The two primary measuring sticks for a pound-for-pound fighter: how he fights who he fights. And like Josh Kelly looked amazing, first couple of fights. Oh, hey, shut up! Jesus Christ! All right. Josh Kelly looked all right until the Ranovsky fight. It was at the Ranovsky fight, the Russian guy, that things started getting difficult. And little by little, he stopped looking like, he don't look like no blue chip prospect anymore. So the quality of competition is important. It's not just, he moved up in weight and he grabbed the vacant title and that makes him pound for pound. No, it's who you fought. That's why I count how many belts you won from how many people, because that's what matters. We all tuned into this fight for a reason. He fighting Joe Smith Jr. Joe got a belt. Joe's fighting Beterbiev. Beterbiev got 2 of those. For all the bullshit that people try to diminish about the alphabet titles, they do separate the contenders from the pretenders. Because if I told you, well, there's a guy at welterweight, he's all right, but he'll never win a title, clearly that's not a pound-for-pound fighter, right?
I don't
If
know.
I tell you, yeah, guy's all right, but he'll never win a belt, does he sound like a pound-for-pound fighter to you?
No.
But if I tell you there's a guy, he could win every belt at welterweight and at junior middle, what does he sound like?
A champion.
Pound-for-pound fighter, like Sugar Ray Robinson, who I modeled my list after him, Leonard, Duran, and their exploits. They have things in common. They weren't just champions. No, they were multi-weight champions. And they didn't just have 1 or 2 good victories or 1 or 2 good fights. They had several. Because that's always been the year mark.
What about Roy?
I mean, it's with Roy, his fights weren't appreciated in their time. When he fought Hopkins the first time, it wasn't looked at then the way it's looked at now.
Oh, shit.
Nova got knocked out, bro. Nova got knocked out, bro.
Okay,
Did he?
Damn, I just missed it.
He got knocked out, bro.
Yeah. I looked over and I'm like, well, how did he get down on the floor? God damn it. He got knocked out.
I'm having cycling problems. I can't see this shit.
Jules, I'm happy when Puerto Ricans get their ass kicked.
He hate Puerto Ricans, bro.
Real, why did Nova look like he got a fake beard?
The only Puerto Rican I like is Juanma.
Nova was leading that shit
wait.
the whole entire fight.
Did his beard change color?
It did so hard. Yeah, it hit so hard. It changed color.
So wait, you don't like Xander Zayas?
Xander, I like Xander.
Oh, okay.
After last week, man, Nova might be one of the better Puerto Rican
But
fighters.
if I'm being honest, I love seeing Puerto Ricans lose.
Xander Zayas.
It's the rivalry thing.
Xander Zayas is a citizen of the world.
Exactly. He's not just Puerto Rican. He's all of
Chilean
us.
too.
Let me read the Tony Boswell. Shout out to Tony Boswell. Much respect, Ring IQ and chat. Stopped in to show support and hit the like button. Salute. Just got out of work. Appreciate that super chat. Michael before says, Wilder is the reason Fury is born on planet Earth. He ruined Undisputed. Yes, he did, by not fighting AJ and allowing Fury to enter American shores, and he battered you. Exactly. If not for that, consider that Wilder introducing Fury into the world title picture is why we here today don't have an undisputed champion.
Bro,
that's literally why.
Bro, you can hate me for this, but I get a sick satisfaction of knowing that bastard can't come back to the United States for a while.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, he's fucked, bro.
Oh, he got flat. I finally got to see the replay. He got flat.
It was a straight left. It was a straight left.
On the jaw, man, and he just went down. He was holding onto the rope like, help me.
Right down the pipe, too. Right down the pipe. Slid.
Yep.
Hey, welcome. You got to see the fight. It only took you about 15 minutes, but there you are. You joined us. Thank you.
Hey, man, I had buffering issues. It wasn't my fault.
Let me see. Sandman said, yes, I saw the same thing as you, and I have nothing against Spence. Ugas just stood there. Weird looking fight. And I said it the night of the fight. The live is up. I said it the night of the fight. It's a weird looking fight, but I don't want to dwell on it because I'm not butthurt about it.
Oh, did you hear?
If you
hear the way his head bounced off the canvas?
Nah, I got the sound off.
Oh. No, his head hit that shit hard.
Yeah, it did.
Bro,
yeah, the way his head bounced off that canvas, boy. Woo.
Is that Michaela Mayer?
course you're gonna spot her, Jules. I know you. Look at him.
Man, listen, man. Listen, be quiet, man. Now, one thing I did want to ask you guys about. The only reason the U.S. government knows about Tyson Fury's connection to Daniel Kinahan is because Tyson Fury announced it to the world when they fake negotiated the Anthony Joshua fight during the pandemic. When he announced to the world that they reached terms, and he thanked Daniel Kinahan. What is your interpretation of that?
I think that he didn't think it through. I think that, like always, he was mouthing off and got ahead of himself. And then once the cat was out of the bag, he couldn't put it back in. I think that literally he's been playing off the cuff for the longest time, and now it's finally starting to catch up to him.
Because Daniel Kinahan could have operated with complete impunity, I feel he could have, if not for that singular moment. Nobody else did that, just Fury. No, like Daniel knows Mick Conlon. Daniel knows a lot of fighters. You look at the pictures. You can see he knows a lot of people, but no one ever took it upon themselves to thank him publicly except for Tyson Fury. And I feel like, you know what? A lot of the heat that he's getting for being in the sport, you can associate with Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Never underestimate the power of a reputation, bro.
I thought you were going to say stupidity, but okay.
A Paraku said Fury dry snitched.
That's kind of how I feel. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you thank him publicly if you know who he is? It doesn't make like, if you know who he is and you know what he does, why would you do that? Or you just maybe you know what? Motherfuckers say stupid shit all the time, so it could just be you just.
Yeah, I don't see Tyson
Fury
Fury
comes
as
out of his head a lot, man.
Yeah,
I don't really see Tyson Fury as a clever man in that regard. I think Tyson Fury as a guy that does a lot of shit and then he figures it out
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's the type of dude that'll say a bunch of shit and then rationalize the shit afterwards, not thinking about what he's saying. Because look at what he just said. His morality, if he should ever come back one day, it will be a sad day because of his fucking morality. Who believes that shit?
Nobody, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
Sounds like bullshit. If it sounded good, I'd give him credit.
Bro, how many people believe him again? Please remind me how many times you've been attacked personally.
Hey, bro, there's an army out there, bro.
We need
fucking people that believe him.
They got lists with
Alexis is in, guys. Alexis is in DM saying, and just like that, Top Rank has another Cuban superstar.
What?
Boom! Oh, down he went. He didn't see that when it hit him in the jaw either.
So
that Ramirez, he's a former Olympic gold medalist. He's a real deal.
He finally rounded out because I think he suffered a loss early.
Yeah, he did. He fought a club fighter and he got knocked down in the first round. It was a split decision loss. I remember watching that fight. It was about 2018 or 19. He came back and avenged it and beat him. He's been on a streak since, and this is his first test though. This fight right here was his first test, and he passed with flying colors.
It looks like this was a sink or swim fight for him. But hey, Top Rank, good for those. They good for those. On to the main course because I think the main event is next.
Hey, Ralph Unreal, I think that was in the second round. He got KO'd.
Clearly, you don't understand the intricacies of Fury's movements. He is trying to psych AJ out by mentioning his connections. I don't know, but that seemed like a stupid. That moment in 2020 when he said that and he thanked Daniel, it always stood out to me like, it's either you was trying to sabotage this man or you just a stupid loudmouth motherfucker. Like you don't want he'll be the guy that'll fuck it up for everybody. Like, bro, Daniel could have been out here doing business. Nobody would have been none the wiser if you didn't draw attention to him with that shit. Because you literally drew attention to him. That shit got a lot of attention that Daniel didn't need. He could have been in Dubai, same shit. Nobody has to know he's connected to A, B, C, and D. But when you thank him, you letting him know, oh, so you be chilling with Daniel. How long you been chilling with Daniel and MTK and all this bullshit? Then they start to connect the dots. I feel like Fury brought that heat down on Daniel. That's how I feel.
I know it's a cliche, but just like an American Gangster, when dude was wearing that fur coat, man, sometimes that's all it takes to get the attention onto you. What gives you more attention than being thanked by the heavyweight champion of the world?
That's what like the shit that Daniel was doing, right? And his reputation in Iowa.
Hey, alleged.
The shit, the alleged shit, right? That was going on for years, bro. But they could never pin the rap on the guy. He was like fucking butter. They couldn't pin the rap on the guy.
Kaiser Sosa.
And it wasn't really until 2020 that it started looking like, yo, the walls are starting to close in. And I can trace it back to that singular moment when Fury decided, let me thank Daniel for doing this deal. You inadvertently let people know, or you not let them know because they knew, but you confirmed that he is working behind the scenes and he is making fights. You just confirmed that. So that, to me, that's why Daniel got all these jacks on him. Be like, yo, Fury, you gotta shut the fuck up, homie. Shut up.
I think that might have been the point to like legitimize Daniel Kinahan, to say, it's like, look, do you really think an international drug criminal would be working with the heavyweight champion of the world? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It just seemed like a boneheaded move to me. And in my gut, I feel like, yo, that's why they on his ass and trying to keep him out of boxing now. Because you let everybody know that he's behind the scenes making fights when nobody had to know that. He could have been doing his same old shit. Nobody got to know nothing. You let everybody know that.
So allegedly, Daniel Kinahan stopped working with Mac the Knife in 2017. He left it all in his hands, but then Tyson Fury, out of his mouth, in 2021 said that, oh, I want to thank Daniel Kinahan for making this fight happen.
Try snitching, man.
You made the point for me that MTK released statements saying that they don't do business with Daniel anymore. But what's Fury? An MTK fighter. So when an MTK fighter is saying thank you, Daniel, and MTK supposedly don't even work with Daniel no more, well, you just killed that, fam. You just let them know that now. You're still over there. You're still over there.
Hey, Julius, have you seen the look on Fury's face every time somebody asks him about it? That looks like a man who knows that he fucked up, bro.
That's what I got from the Sky Sports questions when the Sky Sports dude was grilling him. That it's like, bro, like you caused all this, bro. I really feel like, yo, you caused all this, bro. Nobody had to know nothing.
Now, do I ask you?
You had a picture with him, man.
Jules, does Fury really care that he can't get into the country anymore?
Not because he wasn't going to do business here anyway. I mean, what fights was he going to have in America?
Mm-hmm. Precisely.
It's either AJ or Bus.
Yeah, I mean, they talking about a Joe Joyce fight. Why the fuck would Fury fight Joyce in America?
And the bigger story right now is not him not getting into the country. It's him asking for that $500 million.
I mean, it looked like Fury, if he comes back to fight people, whatever, it'll be on the Frank Warren side of things anyway. So I don't think sanctioning him is going to make a difference. Like, I don't think anything is going to come from that. The same way I said, look, how many weeks has it been since the U.S. sanctioned Daniel Kinahan, right? What has that really led to?
It's been over a month. It's been about a month now, right?
Yeah, no reports of him being in handcuffs, no, nothing.
Look, and motherfuckers, like a lot of the foreign cats, they got mad at me for pointing this out, that sanctioning Daniel is not gonna do shit unless the people over there in the Middle East are gonna bring him in. Nothing's gonna happen. And we heard of like a blurb that they was gonna do that, but it's been a month since that. It's been 2 months. It's been 2.5 to 3 months since the U.S. sanctioned them, and it's been 2 months since we heard that the authorities in Dubai are working in unison with the U.S. government to try to bring him in. So then where the fuck is he?
Julius, nothing is gonna happen in
I
fucking
mean,
Dubai.
I wouldn't. I
Bro,
mean,
that's
look.
what I started off
I
with.
don't think
Dubai is
now that I
full
think
of
about it,
shady ass
sorry.
motherfuckers.
That's
No,
what I started off with. Dubai, for those that don't know, Dubai, upon its rise, quickly became the playground, not just for Daniel, but a lot of gangsters and a lot of seedy individuals, because you could launder a lot of money there and nobody knows nothing. And the process to investigate is too difficult. You know, the U.S. government don't just get to go over there and bother. Like, no, hold the fuck up, fam. What do you want? What the fuck do you want? Because that's how it works. What the fuck do you want? That you over here infringing and encroaching and all that bullshit. That's how it is. You could go over there. In other words, let's just say, you know, I'm in America. I got $10 million in ill-gotten money. I go to Dubai. I open up a business. You think they're gonna ask me where I got the 10 million?
No, Jules. They were welcoming people to invest in the infrastructure over there in the UAE.
They cleaned and are cleaning a lot of money over there. They not you go over there with some
like this. Biden's going over to Saudi in a couple weeks to ask for more oil, to ask for all this stuff, and ignoring the fact that a woman can fly into Saudi Arabia and can't enter the country unless she has an escort or a husband.
Yeah, it's like
You don't care.
Yeah, like because it's a common sense thing. When you go over there, you rubbing elbows with people that actually legitimately have millions upon millions. It's a lot of money being spent, right? So you go over there with 10 million, 50 million, whatever $1 million, however you got it. Ain't nobody gonna ask you nothing. Now who's going in their glove compartment thinking we want to hear that shit?
Now let me get this straight. The Middle East doesn't want to work with the United States.
I know.
Bro, do we really have to go into that? I mean,
yeah, there's no. I don't think there's an extradition treaty between the United States and UAE. So
there isn't, which is why I said that unless the UAE will take it upon themselves to get him and ship him out, nothing is going to happen. And the bulk of his business isn't done in America anyway; it's done in Europe, where Fury can't come to America. He was just in Spain kicking cabs.
And drunk, I might add.
Yeah, I'm just saying that he could travel. He just can't come here, but he could travel.
I forgot
He's a limited traveler.
Joe Smith knocked out Fonfara because I remember Fonfara knocked out Chavez.
Bro, that was his first upset, the Fonfara fight. His first big upset. But yeah, it's like when I read the U.S. sanctioned him, I thought about it, and I'm like, well, the bulk of his business seems to be in Europe, not America. So what is that really going to do? The most that could do, and I thought about it, is maybe that could make some people nervous the way they don't want to touch him. But he'll be all right. And even now, I still think he all right. He walking around over there drinking Mai Tais, touching bitches on their ass, not worried about shit, bro.
now all he has to do is stay away so the United States can't extradite him. That's it. Like, he's set for life.
Well, he can't be brazen if he's smart. You know, he can't make too many big moves. He has to go underground a little bit. But for the most part, like I said, unless the UAE is gonna put him in a plane and ship him over, it ain't about shit.
I really don't think that
Hey,
the United
shut
States
up! Nobody want to hear y'all.
Jules laying the law down.
Ask them their prediction for the fight.
Who's winning, Smith or Beterbiev? Pick one. There you go. He's smart. You heard? Y'all heard? Say it again. Nobody say nothing. Say it again.
Jules, I got a fake personal question.
Okay.
My personal question is, do you have a favorite child?
No. I can't say that. I can't say that, but one is more rudimentary than the other. Your first is kind of like if you a guy, your first is the one that kind of wakes you up.
Mhm.
Then by the time you have the second one, you know, if you a good dad, that is a dad, the first one is kind of like the one that wakes you up. That's really the difference. At least for me, that's the difference. The first kid is the one that like wakes you up.
Yeah,
Then
you
by the
make all
time you
your
have the
mistakes. You make all
Is
your
there one
mistakes from the first one.
to add to that?
That's like
Is there
the
one?
step up
Is
fight.
does one of your kids have your shit talking ability?
yeah, my daughter.
Uh-oh.
Like
It's
my
crazy.
like my daughter has all the same tendencies that I had when I was a kid. All drawing, you know, just everything, like everything, damn near everything.
Doesn't that
But
scare you?
that's normal. Like daughters usually take after their fathers. Like if you notice, daughters usually adopt the traits of the father. Sons adopt the traits of the mom. It's rare that the son is a chip off the old block. Like usually the sons take after their moms, not their dads.
Why is that? Is it a genetic thing or?
I don't know, but it's just the way it is. That's why. That's how you know that Tim Zoo and Nikita Zoo is some chip off the old, because they look just like they fucking father, bro.
Yeah, big time.
I don't see their mom. When I see Tim, I see Costia.
Yep. Same here.
Now, when I see Chavez, I don't see Chavez. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, when I see Chris, I don't see Chris. I don't feel that Chris Eubank Jr. I feel like that apple fell far from the tree. I feel that way.
And not only did it fall, it
Julius-
rolled away too.
Julius,
Right
I
down the
have a
hill.
question.
Good.
As a father, what do you think about calling one of your sons like yourself?
I wouldn't do it.
Why?
Because I've been around a lot of people all my life that have stupid fucking names, in my opinion. And that caused me to develop an opinion over time. My opinion is this is not your pet. This is not your goldfish. The name you give them is, people are going to hear it. They're going to have to deal with it. So if you give them a stupid fucking name, you set them up. Give them a good name, a good strong name that they could carry, and it don't put them in no shit. Because like I said, I've been around a lot of people. I met a lot of Wigobertos. It's just a stupid fucking name.
Yo, that's my uncle's name. Crazy.
A stupid fucking name. Heriberto. What kind of fucking name is that, bro? Like what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and then
You know what I mean?
also if you give your son your name, that could cause problems for you too. Because if he gets in
I
trouble,
feel like that's kind of selfish, because a junior, I'm not into the junior. Like I would never do a junior. I don't want to knock anybody that did, but I would never do a junior. The whole thing, when you a parent, you trying to make shit easier for your kids. You're not trying to make it harder. You're trying to make it easier and better, or give them opportunities that you did not have. You know, that's kind of what you should be trying to do. And I just feel like, a lot of people, they get a kid and it's like they're naming their computer, or like they're naming a hamster. Don't give them a stupid fucking name. What's wrong with you?
I think that's what LeBron's like. If he could do it back, he wouldn't have gave his son Junior because of the pressure.
Yeah. You know, it's a lot of silly shit that it's like, I think we had this conversation before, that some people, they went through something bad, so they feel that everybody should have to go through something bad, where ideally you're supposed to try to create an environment where they don't have to go through something bad. You break the chain.
right.
But that's different people, man. And I always say, people ain't shit. The less of them you deal with, the better.
Hey, Jules, Ricky's picking Joe Smith Jr.
We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, it's not like he has no chance. Damn, look at that left hook to the body. I'm glad I ain't Joe Smith, man. I don't envy him.
Beterbiev fights should be like on, like, I don't know. Those fights are like executions, honestly. Like the way he beats on people, good lord.
He beats motherfuckers like a drum, man.
Joe just has to have, like I said, Joe just has to press him fast because Archer starts slow too.
Yeah. If Joe's gonna get him, it's gotta be early.
Look, I will give Joe a better chance of beating Beterbiev if Joe has a good quality straight right hand. I mean a straight right hand, not a overhand right. Because for
Yeah,
me
because
the
he kind
overhand
of
right,
does this. It
yeah,
loops when he throws it.
for me the overhand right for me it does is a reader punch.
The
Everyone can throw that fucking overhand right.
It's not even that. The overhand right is good for smaller fighters that are going to dip off to the left and bring it over because they could catch a lot of taller fighters with it. But because he's the taller fighter, Joe's the taller fighter, you don't need it to do that. You don't need it to go up like that. You need it to go straight. And Joe doesn't throw it that way to where it's straight down the pipe. He curves the shit. And I'm like, that's room for Artur to get under that. And we gonna see, man. This is why
But
we're here.
like you said, Jules, I would like to see Joe go relentless on the body first.
The problem, you know what the problem with going to the body is? This is exposed.
Exactly, but
I think he has to hook with it. He has to hook with Beterbiev.
you have to hook, but like the body, if you get better beat, you're gonna slow him down, hit him to the body, because he's like an avalanche. Once he gets his wind, once he gets that engine going, he don't stop.
Bruh. I'm excited.
And the other thing, I don't think Joe Smith Jr. had on the ropes because it's going to be on the ropes eventually. I don't think in the inside Joe Smith has any chance.
I don't, me neither. Once they're here to where Artur can hook on, it's to me it's kind of over by the time that happens.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a battle.
Joe's best chance is to hit him with a stupid ass, just a stupid ass punch from the outside coming in.
Whose pressure is going to be more sustainable is going to be important here. But also, Leo also pointed out that he got a snappy, left hook for Joe Smith. Here's where I could see, he does well with that punch. If Beterbiev overcommits with his right hand, and goes crazy, that could change the fight.
If you look at Artur's punches, right, like his jab, it's short. It's not like Joe's jab is all this shit. Artur's jab is like this, like it's short. He bring it back quick, so you can't really counter it. His right hand, he shoot it straight. It's not all this shit. He shoot it straight. Like when he popped fucking Marcus Brown, it was straight. It was just right bang. Like you can't do nothing. That's why I'm going with Artur. It's just it's how the punches look. I'm like,
yeah.
You not Joe is not a counter puncher. You know what I mean? So it's like, and even if you were, there's not a lot there you can counter. Like, not without getting beat the fuck up. But once again, we'll see. It's boxing. Anything can happen. But I can't bank on that shit. Like then again, it's Joe Smith Jr. 4 upsets, 4 times he was favored to lose, 4 times he told the bookies to go fuck themselves. You gotta respect it.
Yep. It's gonna be a war in the pocket.
Long Island's finest.
He's proved them wrong all those times.
He has. Like that's what makes it exciting. That like look, let's not sleep on Joe, fam. Like he done been here before in a lot of ways.
Kind of like Barkley and them other dudes that were sleeping on the Warriors, saying it's over, they'll never win another championship again, and blah blah blah. Well, guess what?
Lo and behold. I don't know, man. I'm excited, though. I'm excited. All right, so the question I have is, for those that feel that this is going to end in a knockout, regardless of who knocks who out, when do you have the fight ending? I'm going to start with Amok. When does this fight end?
I don't know. I think it goes 12 rounds. Usually in combat sports, when you have 2 fighters that have power in a situation like this, they respect each other too much that it goes the distance.
That's a fair point. Julio, when does this fight end? If it ends.
I think Beterbiev has underrated technical skills, so I think 8th round.
8th round. 8th round for Beterbiev. Virtuoso. Who gets knocked out and when?
I think Joe Smith in 6th round.
Ooh, 6. That's early. Let's go to Cuck. Cuck master fell asleep, bro. He fell asleep. All right, we gonna go up to villain. Villain, who's getting knocked out and when?
Well, clearly it's going to be Joe Smith, and he's going to get knocked out in the 10th round.
The 10th. Damn, that's a long time. Leo, who's getting knocked out and when?
Like I said before, I don't think it's going to be a clean knockout. I think it's going to be a stoppage. George Smith Jr.'s corner is going to throw the towel by the 8th round, I think.
Crystal ball country. When does this fight end, and who does it end for?
I got to go in two ways. If Joe Smith Jr. gets the knockout, I have him being knocking him out by either the 5th or 6th round. If it's Beterbiev or Beterbiev, I got him KOing by about the 8th or 9th round.
8 or 9, late for Beterbiev. Drew, who's going to end this fight, and when are they going to end it?
Joe Smith's ending it in the 6th or the 7th round.
Yo, they really got a Canadian flag. I fucking I fucking love it, bro. America ain't
I'll be
shit.
laughing at the dude.
America ain't shit, and boxing just don't be shit. Like y'all know that, man.
Oh, here it comes.
I'm you know what? I'm so happy that Roy Jones has not renounced his Russian citizenship, Jules.
He helping that girl out, that WNBA player that's stuck
Brittany
over
Griner.
there.
Roy Jones is
Rob Reiner.
Was Klitschko out of line for
Griner.
that? For what he did at the
Klitschko was on a line.
I agree.
I think he was too. But that's the reason that I wouldn't lambast Klitschko is because of what he's going through. He going through war.
I also agree.
He's not in the right frame of mind right now. You as good as the enemy because these people are trying to kill us. I ain't sat down doing interviews. These people over there are coming in here trying to kill us. That's the frame of my mind that I'm in. So I get it. Like that he not gonna be, he not gonna be in his right state, level, and balance. Big Joe in the building, the whole Long Island in the building, all the fat guys.
Joe's got some good energy.
Well, look, he came out last, so you know who the A side is.
Yep.
He came out last. That's a Joe Smith crowd, believe it or not. They were expecting a heavy Long Island presence.
You mean to tell me Arthur's not the bigger draw than Bivol and he's the A side, like Alexis said?
Bruh. You can like Top Rank, Alexis, but come on, bro. Come on. They got him fighting in New York because of Joe, so that they could take him to London because of Anthony Yard. And he's the A side of the Bivol.
I love Alexis, but he's already saying Ramirez is a Cuban star for Bob Arum all over his timeline, yo.
That man love his Top Rank, bro. Man, let's get this motherfucking shit. It's a lot of Long Islanders in there, man. The local 1500 in that motherfucker, the Union.
Yep.
So fucking fat Italians in army fatigues.
Don't forget the Irish fighting Irish.
Hey man, I give them their props. So at least they're propping up their boy.
Hey, support. That's the lifeblood of boxing, yo. You gotta show up and show out. You gotta fight, man. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie. I'm excited. I'm fucking excited. That guy fat.
There's gonna be a good fight.
That guy looked like Wolverine. That little guy holding that red belt. Tell me, Stitch don't look like Edward James almost, bro. In American Me. You don't look like him.
Absolutely.
He looked just like
That's Edward James almost right there.
Classic hood movie.
Come here, little puppet.
I'm fucking excited, bro. Woo. Excited. Gotta love when two punches is in the ring, man. Are they gonna sing the Canadian national anthem? Is what I want to know. Can we skip that? Because I really don't. Can we skip it?
I like Mexico's
I think
national
they're gonna
anthem
go
better
straight
than
into
Canada.
introductions, man. Yeah, it looks like it.
I like the Russian national anthem, to be honest. Ever since Rocky.
Yeah.
It's my shit, bro. Be feeling Russian out here.
I always liked it when they sang the Mexican anthem during Chavez Senior's fights, man.
Oh yeah. I love, like, I've heard it so many times. It feels like it's my anthem because I heard it so many times.
And he'd be up there with his hand on his chest. He was all into it, man. It was like, that's right. That's
The Filipino national anthem is my anthem.
I dig it.
Do you guys think that Joe Smith's gonna go back to paying dues after he loses this fight?
No, because he's a smart guy. You know, he actually invested. He has his own logging company now, pruning trees and taking care of down things and shit. Like, he'll be all right, bro. He'll be all right.
I hope he fights again after this.
Oh, me too, bro. Me too. But it really depends on how the fight goes. Because if it's a punishing fight, well, I don't expect him to come right back to the ring.
Just so you know, I'm pro-union, so I hope Joe Smith Jr. gets his workers' comp after this fight.
Real shit.
He about to get fucked up, man.
Yeah, he about to get the shit beat out of him, bro.
Hey, this is boxing. Remember, any given night, man.
That's true too. That's true too. Like, no bullshit.
Korean coach said that Top Rank's looking at Ramirez versus Navarrete. That was planned if Ramirez got the win.
Well, Navarrete about to fight what's his face, bro? Baez. Hey, shut up!
Mrs. Ring IQ is gonna come for the neck.
Is Ramirez ready for Inoue?
I got a question. How many rounds does Mrs. Ring IQ need to body Jules?
Hey,
under
shut
3?
the fuck up! Not you. Start the fucking fight. What the fuck? We know he's from Canada. We get it. He's from Quebec. Start the fucking fight.
I must break you.
Look at that shit.
You will lose.
You will lose. I have more hair on my face than you.
I must break you.
I must break you.
I will cut you with my beard.
Are we gonna bother to score this thing, or are we not gonna bother to score this thing?
I don't know. I don't know if there who knows if it'll even last long enough to get it scored.
Beterbiev looks like a John Wick henchman.
Yeah, he do though. His fucking lights are bright, man. Jesus.
Yeah, they are.
Smith coming out.
Smith's coming out, shows the jab. Tries for the left hook, really wide left hook.
Man, he walked out there looking like
That
Wolverine.
wasn't up the Union standard.
Shows him the Union jab.
Whoever's got that going on in the background, Jules is gonna get at you.
Ooh, they're going for it.
They're going for it. They are. Artur Beterbiev's he likes those high socks, those high party socks.
Joe's already doing what you said, Jules. Double jab, jab, jab.
Yeah, he's using it a lot. He's actually doing all right.
Yeah, he has to though.
He stopped Artur from coming forward with that jab.
Well, that's the only way people
He's got to make him eat that jab all night.
He's got to keep using it, Joe. If it's working, keep using it, Joe. Don't pause. Oh. See, Artur using a lot of movement.
Smart.
Joe could keep this pace. I don't know if Artur can.
Ooh, nice.
Well, he did stop Brown. He did stop Brown in the 9th. So I mean, we at least know that he could be in a high octane fight for 9 and not fade.
Ooh, they're going.
Joe's
for
backing
it.
him up. Joe's backing him up.
There we go.
Archer's fighting off the back foot here. It's not normal for him.
We've never seen Artur move this much in the early rounds though.
Well, he knocked Callum Johnson out while he was on the ropes. So
that's true.
Look at Joe Smith just says, "I'm gonna go for it all."
Oh!
Left hook,
He
left
hit
hook,
Joe, and
left hook.
Joe started unloading on him, and then they're going for it.
They're gonna need a stretcher. Someone's going out in the stretcher.
All right, Joe's hurt. He's not throwing. He's just enduring.
Woo!
He
No
slipped.
knockdown. No
That was a
knockdown.
slip.
Knockdown.
That was a slip.
Show him the
I don't
Union
mind
jab. Show him the Union
Yeah.
dues. Give him the Union dues.
Joe looks a little hurt right now.
It was the
Yeah.
left hook that hurt him.
Beterbiev is really good at sneaking that hook. Almost, it's almost a rabbit punch, but not really. But
He went
it's
to
close
Joe's
to a rabbit
body.
punch.
He's a tough guy. It's that left hook that hurt him. It's that left
Yeah.
hook that hurt him. He snuck it in there.
Yeah, he did.
And now he's sneaking the hooks around the guard.
Well, that's what you were saying. You said that guard is weak. You said he's going to find a way to get in there on the outside. That's what you
Well,
said
look at
earlier.
if you look at Joe's guard, look at the guard. There's a hole.
Spaced
There's a
out.
big hole here to put a punch in there.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
Come on, Joe. You can't let him
Give him the
bag you
Union
up.
dues, Joe. Give him the Union dues.
Oh.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Knockdown.
That's a knockdown.
The Union, the dudes
Hey!
are,
Listen, if Joe can survive this,
Oh,
give him the Union dues, Joe. Give him the Union.
the dues are due.
Joe was gonna give him the Union dues, bro.
Yeah.
Joe was gonna give him the Union dues. There goes Mark Ramsey, one of the best trainers and one of the fattest trainers in all of Canada. But he's the best.
Damn this thing, man.
Beterbiev's boxing skills are so underrated, man. Like people think he's just a brawler, but
Well, I said that it's little things that he does. It's kind of like what I said about Hrgovic. When you first look at Hrgovic, you don't see that, man, he's not your average heavy-handed puncher. Like, there's a method to his madness. With Beterbiev, one of the main things that makes him so effective is the punches are short. It's not just, these are very short punches. They don't travel very far. He doesn't load them up. And because he's naturally heavy-handed, he just flows. He caught him with the left pop, and he's been hurt since then.
That's true, but I also think he has little arms.
Well, that helps. That helps.
yeah, when Bosnick
think
fought
Joe
him, I
Smith is
thought
gonna
Bosnick
go
was
for
out boxing.
Fuck this fucking app. Sorry.
Joe's covering up. He's not as aggressive at the start of the second. See Artur Beterbiev moving laterally, putting shots in here and there.
He went away from the jab already, Jules.
He needs to get he needs to get back on that jab because he was having success with that thing. Now Artur is hitting him. Punch with him, Joe. Punch with him, Joe.
Yeah, return that fire, Joe. Oh,
Yeah, he's got a hook with him.
Woo! He's on Queer Street.
Joe's got a fucking chin, though, bro.
Yeah, but he went down on that one.
The Union dudes, bro. Get him with the Union dudes, bro.
Beterbiev hasn't been hurt yet at all.
That's because
Joe's punches are too wide. This is what I'm talking about. There's too much room in his punches. It's easy for Artur to get around him. Hook to the body. Hook to the.
Oh.
Whoa! They're gonna throw the towel.
Joe Smith's a tough motherfucker, yo.
Tough son of a bitch.
Joe's getting a punch, man.
Joe's
No one's beating Beterbiev,
bro.
No,
He is
nobody's getting.
fucking
No one's beating
annihilated.
Beterbiev.
He's not gonna keep giving you more chances, Joe. You better show him something.
Yeah, Joe don't look too good.
Joe don't look too hot, bro.
No one's gonna look hot against Beterbiev.
He hit him with the Putin punch. Excuse me, the Trevor punch. The Trevor. Sorry, Putin.
Yeah, man, he has to
jabs.
Joe has to get away from his ass. He's getting hit too much.
The thing is, as good as Joe Smith is, that just shows what level that Beterbiev's at.
Well, it's not so much the level; it's his power.
Chechen Lion, bro.
Yeah, it's just unbeatable.
Oh, that uppercut.
There's
Oh,
no
he's
more.
done. Fight's over. Fight's over.
Thank you, Leg.
Wow, second round TKO.
He made him look like he'd never been in a boxing before. That's how good he is.
Wow,
bro, he's tough.
I mean,
he's
I
tough.
think Bevo beat him badly, but in a different type of way.
Can I say this? Joe's a bad dude, bro, because he didn't want to stay. He would have kept fighting, bro, until he get put in the hospital.
Yeah,
He would have kept fighting.
He would have kept
yeah, I
fighting.
agree.
They
He's
killed
tough as
him.
nails.
Yeah, he just couldn't take Arthur's punches, man.
Arthur would have killed him.
He would have had to.
Yeah,
he's getting hit too much. He's getting hit too much.
Joe got hit too much, man, too early.
You know what? You know what though? I like Bivol against Beterbiev.
No, Beterbiev wins that fight, 100%.
I like Bivol, the all-around game, and he's gonna make Arthur think too much.
Yeah,
yep, I agree.
Well,
I'm still
the
picking
main
Bivol.
thing is what I see that Bivol's going to do to Artur is he's going to force him to lunge in, and that's what'll cost Artur. This guy moves too much, and his feet are too quick, his hands are too quick. There's a chance that Bivol could hurt him with a shot, but he's not going to get through often enough.
Well, and then you also said it, Bivol's not going to waste any punches. He's not going to make no mistakes.
Yeah.
For Artur to capitalize on.
Let's see if Yard can do any better. I honestly think Yard would probably get knocked out maybe in the first.
Can you imagine people wanted Canelo to fight him? It's like, oh my God.
Canelo end up in a wheelchair if he fights him.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
see
know.
it.
I don't know
Let's
about
see it
Bivol.
again. Let's see it again. Let's see it again.
Oh, he got hit right in the head.
Caught him in the head with a counter right hand that dropped him, send him to the ropes. Counter right hand. As Smith was coming in, Joe fires the counter right. It clearly hurts Joe. He thinks he's swimming. He's in deep waters.
Hit
That's
him
the
in
name
the jaw,
of the fight.
and then boom, right on the side of the head.
I mean,
he
if Volk
catches
gets
him
put
with
in
a
that
short
boxing-
left hook on the inside, brings over the right hand, a temple shot. Opens up another right hand, another left hook.
Andre Ward wanted no parts of that, man.
No. You know, the good thing about this, though, the positive thing is Jules gets to go to bed before 2 o'clock in the morning.
I mean,
Yes, but
yo, it's only 11:17. Thank you, Artur.
Another positive is this wasn't no physical war for Artur.
No,
It
He's
didn't take
He's
nothing out of
good.
him.
He's
It was
good.
easy
He
work,
barely
man.
got hit.
Yeah,
I didn't think he would do it inside 2 rounds, bro.
Yeah, me either. I thought it was going to go
I
farther.
just picked
Honestly, I did think it would take a little longer than this. I didn't think it was going to be that quick.
Boy,
And
was
Joe
I wrong on my
Smith-
prediction.
Joe Smith's got a chin, too, and he's making him do the stanky leg under 2 rounds.
But that's how you
He
know
gives
Joe
up the
got a
chin
chin,
too
though.
easily.
That's
He
the
wouldn't
thing.
stay down. Like, he didn't get knocked on his back pocket. He just got dropped to his knee.
Yeah. No, Joe
He
Smith's
got,
my
he
favorite
got his,
fighter.
he knocked him off his equilibrium, and then he got too much. He took one to the chin, and that was
He
it.
hit him with the Union punch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the dude's a
Rob
dude.
says, I went to the fight. I'm highly disappointed.
It's just what was expected.
Jesus Christ, bro. It's fucking ref, man. It's the ref's fault.
Man,
right now we need the
Where's
Porky
Steve
Pig.
Smoger when you
Let's
need
go,
him?
folks.
Where's Steve Smoger when you need him?
I know.
Steve Smoger.
Fucking shit. Well, I want to say that it lived up to my expectations in the sense that I was expecting them to go at it, and they did. It's just that it didn't last as long as I thought it would.
Now, is this a hot take, Jules? Bivol Beterbiev is a better, more intriguing fight than Spence Crawford?
No.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
You know what? I'll tell you this much.
No,
Serta better stay the hell away
because there's a large contingent that thinks Crawford smokes him. Where is Beterbiev Bivol 50-50?
I think honestly, I think that's a closer
yes,
to 50-50.
It's 50-50. That's a 50-50 fight.
Which fight's 50-50?
I think Bivol is 50-50.
Beterbiev's going to destroy him.
If I was Zerto, I would stay the hell away from Beterbiev, man. The hell with
Bro,
that.
he didn't go to Golden Boy because he wanted to be around Beterbiev. I mean, he go over there because he wanted to park his car next to that guy. But one thing I do see that I feel it'll be a factor is he's going to force Artur to hyperextend. That he will, because he moves around so much. Remember, Bivol's not an inside fighter; he's an outside guy.
Isn't that what people said about Vosdick though? Because I think that's one of the reasons that I initially thought Vosdick was gonna beat Beterbiev. I thought it was gonna be like a nightmare style matchup for him, and he just walked right through him.
The difference between Bivol, and it's a noticeable difference. One thing about Vosdick that's a flaw, and I'm with you. I thought Vosdick was going to do it, but one thing that did stand out is Vosdick doesn't move his torso; he moves his legs to get out of the way of punches. He doesn't stay off center or come in at a slight crouch. He literally moves out of the way. So because his torso's so upright, he's still there for punches. Whereas Bivol, he hunkers down a little more, angles his torso a little more, and he's a smaller target than Vosdick. More importantly, we're talking about a fight that ain't happening this year. Yard is happening this year. Thugnificent says Beterbiev is serving them bricks. Unreal power in his hands. Got the power of
Yo,
stones.
Yard don't want none of that.
Crack stones. Russia now rules light heavyweight. Shit, now they've been ruling that shit. They've been ruling that
2018, man.
They've been ruling that shit. They did the fucking Joe what Putin did to Ukraine. Now let me stop. Don't play with
I don't know.
Yeah, why do you?
If
Why?
Archer hits Bivol, man, Bivol may not be able to take it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's just hold out. Let's just wait and see. But Jesus Christ, man, 2 rounds, bro.
Why do Eastern European amateurs have so much more success in the pros than the Cubans? Does anyone?
I'll tell you why. Because they don't stay there as long. The Cubans stay there longer than other guys because they know that most of the time they're not going to go pro. But the Eastern Euro guys, they know they're going to go pro. They know. A lot of Eastern Euro guys that came through. But also it's the style of fighting. The one thing you could be a good amateur, but you can have a style that's better suited for the pros than the Amis, and the same is true in reverse, and that is true of many Cuban fighters. You're a great fighter for 3 rounds in the amateurs. In the pros, it's different.
Yep, cardio could be a factor.
I agree. And they also base their styles a lot like on pro Americans. Like a lot of them are influenced by Roy Jones. Like a lot of them. Like almost all of them, I think.
Capricorn, bro. Influencer. He's like influential, like influenza. That rhymed. Damn, man, he really beat the shit out of Joe. What
Yeah,
are we
a lot
gonna do
faster
now?
than I thought. I didn't think it was going to go that quick.
What are we gonna do now?
Talk boxing.
No, Jules. I know what Jules. It's early. Jules is gonna go grab some ass.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yo,
She's
have a
doing
good
my,
night, guys.
doing my daughter's hair, but yeah, I mean it's fucking early, bro. Like, damn, Top Rank let me off the hook. Thanks,
Yeah.
Bob.
Good.
Shit. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that. So fuck. After that Berlanga shit, he heard me. Like, can we do it a little late? Can we wrap this up? Wanna get the hell out of here.
You little prick.
So who's coming up on the horizon?
What do you mean at light heavyweight?
Just at fights in general.
Oh well, I mean we got Rodriguez versus Rungvisai next week,
Yeah,
bro.
Bam's next week.
That's gonna be that's going. I mean, look, honestly, I it's like Rungvisai hit fucking hard, bro. Like he hits hard, like, and I know Bam is skilled, but you still a little dude trying to, you know what I mean, trying to make it at Superfly. That's not where you was at 2 fights ago. I don't know, man. I don't even know how to edge that shit. I think Bam has better feet, but Rungvisai is clearly a bigger puncher than that guy, bro. So I don't know, man. I might be a bitch and ride the fence on that one. I might have to be a bitch.
Nah, Bam's got it.
I want
Bam for the W.
I want a Mother Russia showdown. And Artur just said he wants Bivol. Too bad they're not going to give it to him.
But they're not going to give it to him.
Best we can do is Yard.
Oh, I wonder if they're
he's
going to
not gonna let
mention
that
Tyson.
fight
Did they mention Tyson Fury can't get into the country on ESPN?
No. You think they're going to mention that shit?
Oh, okay.
Bro, that was. You know what? It wasn't as bad for Joe as it could have been. It could have been worse. Will says you was right, bro. In your expert opinion, how strong is Beterbiev? Is he a threat to Bivol? Absolutely, 100% a threat to Bivol.
Is he a threat? He wins the fight, 100%.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know about all that shit. I don't
Write
know.
it down. Time snap it. Time stamp it.
I don't know about all that shit.
100% Beterbiev.
Yeah, I want to see
100%.
Rungosai fight, man. That dude's a good fighter.
I want to see Bivol's like punch resistance. Like, does he have a chin or not?
I mean, he took the hardest I've ever seen him hit was by Joe. And he took a right hand that I swear to God, it would have flattened most 90% of the division. It would have flattened if he would have landed on any other guy the way he landed on Bivol in that fight. Bivol didn't. It was towards the end of the round, so that kind of saved him. But the fact that he didn't go down, he took the shot, and he was all right. He's got a chin. It's just that Artur is an extraordinarily heavy-handed puncher, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if he can take punches.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Leo.
Look, Artur Beterbiev is a strong puncher, yes, but it's also where he throws the punches. He mostly throws the punches to the temple, and if he has to throw a rubbing punch, same as Hergovic, if he has to throw a rubbing punch, he's gonna do it. And for me, that's why so many of these guys are gonna talk him, because you need a skill to do that effectively and not being called for the referee. By the referee. Yeah.
That's true.
For me, it's a little bit of a hack. Yeah. It puts me on the fence about that. But if you can stay in the outside, I think Bivol can beat him.
I think Bivol, that's been my prediction for the longest time because one, he manages the distance well, as you specified, and two, we're not on the eve of that fight. We're not, bro. We don't know when that fight happens. You know what we do know? That he's 37, going on 38.
Yeah.
And I've always maintained the longer the fight takes to make, the more it favors Bivol. And you know what? It's taking a long time.
Well, look what happened to Adonis Stevenson. He was on top of
Can I get Artur to wear some Reyes gloves like Inoue?
Bro, if he wears Reyes, guys' heads are gonna fucking explode.
He'll kill somebody.
Might as well be a bare knuckle fight.
Jeez, these fucking Russians, man. What are you gonna do? Fucking Russians.
They're dominating, man.
Canadians. Julius, Canadians.
You're right. These fucking Canadians, man. What are we gonna do, eh?
I don't know, eh?
What are we gonna do, eh? Play some hockey, eh? They don't talk like that, though. I watch Canadian TV shows. They don't talk like that.
Oh,
they don't
just
say
a stereotype.
They don't say eh. I haven't seen one Canadian TV show where the guy said, "Yeah, let's do it, eh." I honestly haven't. Jim Carrey doesn't do it, and he's Canadian.
Did any of you guys watch Trailer Park Boys?
What is this, Stranger Things?
No.
This is Stranger Things, bro. It's a commercial with the guys from Stranger Things.
And on that note, gentlemen, the sushi has arrived. Jules, it's early. Jules has time to grab ass tonight.
Wow, bro. Bob really listened this time,
Okay,
bro.
Wait. No, this is Hockey TV. Fuck. No, because then I saw a thumbnail of Hockey TV saying that it's confirmed October 28th is the.
Oh no, it is though. That is the date for Yard. It is, yeah.
No.
Said it's done.
Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford.
Oh.
But it's Hockey TV.
Yeah, that's not. Fuck out.
You said October 28th. Yo.
29.
29. Oh.
Bro, didn't I just see something that they're moving it to November?
Yeah.
I just saw something about them moving Crawford versus Spence to November. Literally, I just saw it earlier today. Wow, that. You know what it feels like? Feels like if you nutted fast, like.
What?
Now you sit there looking around like, now what the fuck do I do?
Fuck are we gonna do, yo?
I mean, we could talk, I guess.
I'll play tic-tac-toe with a fishnets.
You know what, dude? Oh,
I pay for the hour and I only bust in 15 minutes, man. Damn.
Shit, yo. He beat the shit out of Joe, bro. Jesse
I don't know
Casella
about
says,
this one.
do we see a light heavyweight undisputed before Bivol versus Nello? I don't think so because Bob doesn't want to make the fight. Literally, he just said nobody knows Bivol. He literally just said that the last couple of interviews he did. He's been poo-pooing on the fight. And
Does Anthony Jarrett has a chance to upset Beterbiev?
No.
Although if Canelo would have won, Bob would have been
defense,
singing a different tune.
shoulder roll defense will not defend against the temple shot. It won't. Think about it. Where's the temple?
Yeah.
How's he defend punches? No.
With his head.
Stop. Don't hit me. Stop. Please.
Stop it.
Is that a Ryan Garcia imitation?
That hurts. Stop it.
No. Stop.
I broke a nail.
We a bunch of assholes. We better never go to a fight.
We're
gonna get in trouble.
Excuse me, Eddie. Why won't you be my trainer? I'm a star, Eddie.
Star. Jazz hands. What's that shit?
Yeah, they're building
Jazz hands.
You made me
social
go to
media.
the beach.
TikTok is building a compilation of him pulling back on his guard, and he's not going to be a championship fighter. He was doing that.
Yeah.
Not going to last long.
Bro, he was having success with that jab. That's the crazy part. He was having success with that jab.
He was trying to going for it, and he paid the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem is his face got in the way of those punches, and it stopped all the momentum.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
I mean, yeah.
I felt he should have been patient because he has a gas tank to go long, you know.
He looked good in the first round, like you said, when he had the distance and the
Yeah.
jab. After he tried to go all out, I mean, it was over. Game
No,
over.
the problem was he got too close and let himself get hit. That's what it was.
Also,
I think letting off was his only chance. I mean, you're not gonna try to box him, like.
yeah, exactly. That's why I said that. Like, what the fuck else? He's not. What's he gonna do? Get off the back foot? Try to walk him? Like, come on, like, you know.
No, I mean I'm not saying he had to box him or try to.
No,
box
not
him.
you, not you. I'm just saying that he did what was best, but it's just that's why I picked.
He's not going to stay behind his jab too long, man. Like he wants to open up and throw hooks.
Yeah, like it's like you can't just try to box him. It's like to beat him, it has to be balanced to where offense and defense. You can't just do one. If you come forward too much, you're gonna get walked into a shot. If you backpedal too much, you're gonna give him momentum because he's gonna back you and he's gonna feel comfortable to throw. You gotta alternate with him. B-ball is the guy that can do that to alternate between offense and defense. Alternate.
It's a stylistic puzzle, man. To be honest with you, I mean,
Jason Costa's asking, is Beterbiev top 3 now?
No, he's in the for those that want to know, he just made the Ring IQ pound for pound list. He just made that.
The Canadian did?
I think he meant top 3 light heavyweight is what he did.
Oh, of course, bro. Listen, honest to God,
Number one.
He's number one, bro. He's number one. He won the lineal from Vosdick, who won it from Stevenson. That's the first thing. 2, he's got 3 alphabet titles now.
Yeah.
How can he not be number one?
Right.
He's number one, bro. Maybe Bivol has more of a profile because he beat Canelo, obviously, but Bivol's not number one. He's number 2. Jeez, guys, what the fuck are we gonna do now?
Talk shit.
I think Beterbiev cleans out all the top cruiserweights too.
I don't think that.
Mm-mm.
I don't
Why not?
think that. They can smother him in a way that no other light heavyweight can.
They're about a 15-pound difference.
Funny. This is gonna sound funny. Lawrence Okoli would be a nightmare for him.
Ooh, that long jab.
It's not the jab; it's the clinching.
Oh yeah, that is true. He's gonna like box him,
He's gonna
time
do
him, kind of
ragdoll.
like how
He'll
Fury did.
jab.
Like,
He'll jab because he has such long arms. He'll jab at Artur. Artur will cover up, and before you know it, you're in a clinch. You're in a clinch, and the whole fight will be that way. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Artur, but weight classes exist for a reason. You got guys at cruiserweight. They're like he could probably. I think he'd knock out Babic. He would knock out Babic. Yeah, at cruiser, if Babic came down and he went up, he'd knock out Babic. Oscar Rivas, good fight. Good fight. Won't happen because Oscar's a bridger weight. But you know, like Artur's not a big light heavyweight. You guys got to remember that. He's not actually very big for that division. He's burly, but he's not a big guy.
I have a question.
But he can hit.
Does Bridis gonna find his balls and fight Okoli?
I don't think so. I think he's gonna look to fight Reactpour.
He don't want no part of Okoli, dude.
Sky Sports, it's my understanding, based on inside sources on the inside, that Sky is offering people a lot of money, and they don't have any belts for Reactpour to fight for right now. But Kale, who already, he has a good relationship with Sky, he expressed an interest in doing Reactpour versus Bridis if Bridis beats J.O. Pataya early next month. That's going to be in Australia. That's going to be on the 2nd. He's got to fight that kid. If he beats that kid, what I think is going to happen, Bridis versus Reactpour. I don't think he's going to fight Okoli. If he wanted Okoli, he could have fucking had him. He doesn't want Okoli. Don't you see he went to his fight? He brought a bag of cold McDonald's. You shouldn't even be fighting your mandatory right now. If you wanted, you could have been fighting. You could have been fighting Okoli right now. Pay him to step aside. Fight Okoli. It's fucking crazy, bro.
do you think Okoli does anything at heavyweight? Because he's
Yes.
talking about moving up.
Yes, he's big, very big, and he'll have an edge in speed on most other heavyweights there. But also, he has a very ugly style that is also as ugly as it is. It's effective. Jab, clinch. Jab, clinch. Odd right hand that lands, fight's over. Because he does have a bankable right hand. That that kid hits hard, man. And at heavyweight, because of the speed, he'll be faster than a lot of the guys that are there. I think he might do okay. But what does okay mean? Does that mean he wins a title? I don't know. The world title picture's kind of just loopy right now. I don't know what to expect because let's say Usyk wins the belts. Let's say Usyk wins the rematch. Is Fury going to fight him? We don't know. If he doesn't fight him, what does Usyk do then? Defend the belts? I guess. Can he hang on to them against all challengers like Joyce again, like Hrgovic, like Dubois? Can he hang? Look at the guys that are in mandatory positions and then look at Usyk. And then ask yourself, do you feel that he beats those guys? I think Hrgovic would be the tougher test out of all three guys that are in mandatory positions or will be. I think he's the tougher fight than Dubois. Tougher than Joyce because that's not unfamiliar territory for Usyk. He fought him in the World Series of Boxing. So it's a weird situation right now depending on what happens. If Usyk wins, it gets weird. If AJ wins, it's a little bit predictable because, look, say what you want. AJ's willing to fight people. He's willing to fight people.
And Fury's going to fight AJ if he wins, I think.
Yeah.
Do you have the feeling Usyk... Do you have the feeling Usyk is about to retire?
I don't know why. I don't know why, but priorities. But I don't know. Like it's like people get too stuck on an idea. Okay, he beat AJ. I dig it. I understand that he beat him. He's not invincible. This is the heavyweight division. The way that Lewis lost to Rockman, I remember how people reacted that he ain't shit, no chin, blah blah. They immediately wrote him off after the first Rockman fight. Second one, you see what happened, bro. He was switched the fuck on. They shitted on Lewis for years and didn't imagine that he's gonna be that dude. They shitted on Vlad for years. Oh, after that Corby Saunders foul, this dude ain't shit. He ain't no Drago. And look at what happened. Things happen. It's the heavyweight division. It's a weird fucking division, but that's why we watch it.
Look, I have the feeling that talking about Usyk, if he's above legacy, he has collected an amount of the all amount of legacy is going to fight, because I don't think he's going to fight Tyson Fury.
I don't see it happening.
And what is there for Usyk if he wins? Defending his belts? I don't think he's going to stay.
That's what I mean. That let's say he beats Joshua for the second time, and Usyk and Fury, if for some reason, he just doesn't care about the fight. Let's just say hypothetically, well, what the fuck are you gonna do, bro? Fight Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce? Like, what are you gonna do, bro? And that Saudi money, that's gonna be a lot of money for Usyk. It's a lot of fucking money that he could retire if he wanted to. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have fun finding out. I'm old. My back hurts. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Start cracking your bones, man.
Okay, Julius.
You guys stay out of trouble.
Oh, definitely, man.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, gentlemen. Enjoy.